drama to
Drop.
you.
Oh, ready, let's go. Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. Cause you know like I know. We'll take it round and round again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for us through some small technical difficulties. We will look to get started now. It is Team Monarch versus Insidious. First map will be Border, Monarch's choice, and Insidious' choice. And how do we expect things to go in this first round?
Honestly, I don't have a clue. It could be like generally you'd say on most maps, oh, the defense is probably gonna win. But from what we've seen from the other maps we've had tonight, it could really go either way. And I'm completely unsure of what's gonna happen because Border, but it has been in the pool for longer, so that does trend for the map to be more attacker sided, or to be more attacker sided than other maps, I should say. But again, I'm expecting probably a close scoreline, probably a 3-3, maybe something even closer, maybe even an attacker-sided win on the first half. But completely unsure. Thatcher is our first ban coming out from the side of Insidious. We talked about this before the break. Not surprising to see Thatcher, and his EMPs do have an AoE, so it's very powerful.
Indeed, he is. So it will be Monarch with the second ban. Blackbeard, interesting. Not the most powerful on this map. I think the main position in which he is quite a nuisance will be that sandwich window. But on the whole, Blackbeard's just an annoying operator that no one really wants to play against. Speaking of which, Mira also being banned by Monarch.
Yeah, not surprised to see Mira banned. She's very powerful on Border, and certainly a lot of teams have really powerful strategies involving her, and just removing her from the board entirely nullifies that chance that she's going to be used. And it makes for operators, and I'm expecting probably an Echo, maybe a Maestro. Yep, there we go. Echo's off the board. And, you know, these bans are unusual.
You know, one of the is there are only two staircases going up and down. If you can get those edge out by those two staircases, that effectively cuts off any rotation from the first to the second floor and can be quite powerful. But with the Nomad still in play and at this point being picked by Fur, it should be she will be quite a powerful operator in this matchup.
Yeah, you do see Nomad bans on Border quite often, considering how many run-outs are available on this map. And Nomad obviously shuts those down a lot better than Gridlock can, and certainly a lot better than Claymores can. But no, Nomad's in play, so I'm expecting to see her brought pretty much every single round with how influential she can be. But I mean, yeah, nothing too surprising here. Not seeing a Buck or an IQ from the attacking side, which is a bit surprising, considering they're probably going to Armory and Archives first, and Buck and IQ can go through it. Oh no, there is an IQ, sorry. I'm blind. There's no Buck though, which is surprising, because normally you do see a Buck, because you can open up behind half wall, and you can open up below the floor, but maybe they're just going to leave the fee to do it.
Yeah, and it also may indicate that they are intending to perhaps side of the map and look to take office. Take office in Fountain before pushing into Archives. As you said, teams will often take a Buck if they are intending to get a plan off on that A bomb. But it will be the first round of tonight's second series. These two teams have shown us some very, very good gameplay in the past, so I'm certainly expecting high things from this matchup.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this would be the 2nd and 7th seeded teams against each other, if the bracket's set up like that. So yeah, these teams are, seeding-wise, they're 5 places apart, but I think gameplay-wise, I mean, we should see a pretty close match.
Indeed, and as predicted, it does appear to be an east-side office Tader with the one Maya set up. He's got that shield, that also powerful shield, in quite a good position to fend off anybody that tries to take office from that doorway. Skits, he's got the long angle right back from the rooftops, looking for the picks into office. He's not gonna. Little does he know that his sister Kingers is also hiding. That grenade there does get caught by the magnet, but Raider is trapped in the corner of offices, but manages to find the head of Carney as the wall is opened up. That's the thermite gone. And but exothermic charge in Kingers spraying through the break room wall out onto Scarlet. Isn't going to find anybody spraying by the window. Raindrops will take out TVCX. That's the Jaeger also down now. Raindrops is also a very low health, and everything is moving very quickly so far.
Yeah, 2 quick kills, 1 for each side, and now in a 4 vs 4. It's sort of having a little calm before the storm, but Raider can pick up his second kill here. IQ is really careful going prone past the window. The drones. But there you go. A Raindrop picks up his second kill for the round. There goes Raider now to 4 vs 3. Defenders with a man disadvantage. Ella's pulled back from that aggressive backroom position back to side, and you've got another short lull as the side of Monarch sets up for the next phase of their attack.
Yeah, we saw Apples was on that Valkyrie camera there. Peeks through the Maverick hole. Terrible choice as Raindrops will find his 3rd kill onto the head. A quad kill for Raindrops, taking out Kinners. Red now, flanking round, takes out Furry. Crixus goes to the plant and will be Skits taking one and stealing the ace of his Canfa. And what a round from Raindrops that was.
Yeah, Raindrops coming in with 4, picking up both entries as well as both side kills. Really good fragging from the IQ, and certainly very influential for that round, and basically won that single-handedly for Monarch. Holes were opened up by Maverick, got 2 frags of that. I think the Valkyrie getting a bit over-aggressive, a bit too arrogant, trying to, hold that angle, maybe catch a player off guard, but no, Raindrops was ready for it. And even on low HP, he still picks up another 2 frags. So it's really good to see from Raindrops, and first round to the start of Monarch.
Yeah, and I think there was also a bit of that misplay there from Raider. He was playing the Wamai in office, and he went to try and peek the office window, and just got completely taken out. And it just allowed office control to completely swing in favor of Monarch. So this time Raider will be on the Jaeger and TVCX will be on the Wamai instead. So the same operators, I believe, but just a bit of a change in which particular member of Insidious is playing with.
Yeah, they're running the same ops and they're going to the same site, so it should be something pretty similar. Just based on the fact that Monarch did an ace push there very effectively, they could attempt another one, or they could attempt a more default main wall attack. But you never know. There's like so much option for the attackers, and that's why Border is a unique map, because it's one of the older ones, which means there have been more attacks explored, there have been more defenses explored. It means that both teams have such a huge pool of knowledge to work off when they plan their attacks and defense, that it's almost like Monarch and Insidious already know what each other are going to do. It's just waiting and playing against it.
Yep, TVCX is he's playing in offices once again where his counterpart Raider was, but it's nonetheless Wamai still holding offices, and Monarch once again setting up for an office take. It worked very effectively last round, despite losing Carney on the thermite fairly early on. King is here looking to perhaps go for a bandit trick onto the wall, as he will be caught by the drone as it comes in through office now. Carney looking out to bait those bandits. It won't happen though. Raider Arc taking out Skits on the other side of the map. That is the Sophia down straight away, spraying down the hallway. Raider Arc will not find another one though. Flashes coming in, but will all get caught by the magnet. And another frag grenade, I believe that was, that went in, will also get caught by an ADS. And another ADS there. Projectiles are just not getting through here.
Oh.
As I say that, a frag grenade from Crixus will find Kingers. That's the bandit gone, that's the wall open. Aggressive peek here from TVCX. Looking to find a member of Monarch, but it will be Raindrops onto Raider Arc, spraying out as TVCX, misses his shots, gets caught by the air jab, and subsequently taken out by Carney. 4v2 now. What is going on with Insidious?
It just seems like they're over-aggressing these positions. Like, Insidious opens up that main wall, and for some reason TVCX goes for a run-out. Like, I don't understand why they're being so aggressive when in situations where it's really not favorable for them to be. Especially with 4 players sitting outside that main breach. I mean, I understand his attempt to get a frag and even out the odds, but it just didn't work out. Now, Valkyrie holding an off angle, could get a nice headshot, a great shot onto Fairy from Apples. Now in a 3 vs 2. It's still not equal for the side of Insidious, but it's certainly making it a lot better. Shots ring out close to the IQ, but Apples doesn't connect a second time. Ping's now coming out for the Valkyrie, could get another kill, but no, doesn't make it. Flashbang's ringing down over the wall, and it's slowed down a bit. I think the Thermite, no, is opening up right next to the side of the side of Carney, the Nitro Cell flies out. Apples doesn't pick up a frag. Mark's still coming out. These Valkyrie cameras haven't been taken out by IQ. I think that's Raindrops taking them out just now. But Apples is stuck in this Archives corner. Flashbangs ring in. Two players, one on each side. Looks like he's stuck here.
Indeed, Red also playing there by the metal detector, just hoping to cut off anybody coming down the hallway now. He SMG 11 in hand, looking for those picks. Oh, Apple's just missing. Oh, gets taken out by Carney as his teammate Red finds Crixus. Oh my gosh, Red
Low
now
HP.
all by himself against Carney.
On Carney?
Yeah.
One smoke canister, like one tick of the smoke canister will kill Carney. He's so low. Red just has to throw out a smoke canister and kill the thermite, but no, Carney's going for the kill and could pick it up, but there's not enough time. And Insidious wins the second round from what was looking like another Monarch round. They've pulled it back.
Yeah, definitely a round that should have swung in the favor of the attackers. But a couple of misplays, including a slightly mistimed push onto the Valkyrie of Apples, meant that it was Insidious that were just able to completely pull apart that attack. And as you said, it was Carney on the thermite last round, who was at such a low health and so vulnerable to those smoke canisters that he knew he had to go for a frag, but decided a bit too late and couldn't push in time.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, like, Monarch, again, really well. They took through off of us, they got those early frags. It was a 2v4, and then Apples and Red pulled it back, and that was really good to see from Insidious. They're bouncing back. Now it's a 1-on-1. A 1-to-1 scoreline. And they got now changing to the Workshop Ventilation site, which isn't surprising to see. It's the secondary site. It is the second strongest after Archives and Armory. And we should probably see an upstairs hold from Insidious, considering this is Workshop and Tellers, and generally hold upstairs because of the whole floor being soft. A drone staring right into the eyes of TVCX. He's probably going to pick it up with his Mozzie Pest. Yeah, you can see his. Oh, he actually lost a signal with the drone outside. That's unfortunate.
Yep, so there's one pest and one drone gone to waste, but I suppose in a way, the net positive outcome does go to TVCX, as that's an attacking drone, also off of the board. But with the somewhat recent removal of Mozzie Super Shorty, the entire defense will have to rely on the shotgun of Red in the hands of Smoke. It'll really successfully breach open those holes and keep sightlines down from above, as we see there. That vital sightline onto the vent window being opened up for TVCX.
Yeah, you got two players upstairs inside of Insidious. You got Raider and you got TVCX, both holding an Armory Archives. When you're defending Workshop and Tellers, you are forced to hold Armory and Archives. It's almost just like defending the site again. And you can see Monarch's putting a lot of pressure onto this upstairs hold. They're putting all 4 players up onto this sort of east to west push again. It seems like Sophia's going to go up as well. So yeah, you can see how both teams know that they have to take towards this office side, have to take towards Armory and Archives. And so with the sledge on board, they're in a prime position if they do get control to start putting some vertical pressure onto site. And once that's established, it's very hard for the defending team to deny plan.
Yeah, as we see now, Raindrops, having been droned in, is looking to get the pick, looking to find the head of Radora, but he's not going to find him. CVCX also holding Armory lockers now, just hoping to cover the doorway entry for his teammate. They're hopefully looking to pick off someone as they come in now, but the entire east side of the map now, that's Office and Fountain, and with for all intents and purposes, Archives control is now in favor of Monarch, and they are pushing very hard. All 5 members of the attacking team are looking at TVCX peaks and gets 2. That's Skits and Furry going down at the hands of the fearsome Commando 9, and Mozzie takes 2 down. Apples also finding a shot off onto Carney. That's the sledge gone now, and everything is falling apart here from Monarch. As Radar drops, he does get tagged a small bit, but not enough to have any significant effect now, and he leaves his counterpart TVCX to hold alone upstairs.
Oh, and there you go. Kearns takes out on Crucius, and now it's a 1 vs 5. Raindrops, who's seen how good he is at fragging so far in this match, but is he enough to take out on 4 players of Insidious? Gets the first onto TVCX. There's a Jaeger right here, but he just doesn't land the shots. Going back and forth. Raiden pulls at the pistol, trying to sneak up on the back of IQ, who he knows is low. Swings out into the hallway. IQ's there. He knows he has to hit just 1 or 2 bullets. Goes prone and shuts down Raindrops. A great round for Insidious. TVCX and Raiderux Roam up on Armory and Archives was really the MVP of that round. So only TVX's swing, picking up 2, was really influential.
Yeah, but Raindrop there clearly showing the skill that he does possess. Pre-firing with a pistol is not something that you often see, especially at this level of play. But a fantastic job on the part of Insidious there. And it really all fell apart with those 2 early picks by TVCX. That he was just holding those angles, waiting for the the attackers, to come to him, and they did.
Yeah, I was about to say, if TVCX and Raider could like stall, even like 10, 20 more seconds upstairs and push it down to a minute, it'd be great. But then TVCX does one better, swings out, picks up Skittles, picks up Fury, Skits and Fury. Skits and Fury, sorry. I'm really not going with the words today. But he picks up 2, and that's just Sledge gone, as well as a second pick, and no refrag. And it just shuts down the attack, and Monarch can't advance any further because there's the wall of TVCX with the Commando 9, and they just can't get past it.
No, he cannot. So with both of their preferred sites being locked out now due to their success on defense, Insidious will have to move to one of their tertiary sites, that being the customs site. And now this isn't because of the way that border is. It's a lot of soft walls pretty much everywhere and soft floors. You have to hold above. And as it is, Insidious will be committing 3 of their roster to defending upstairs. Actually, 4 utility from 4 at least, but 3 hard presences there, including the castle, who will be quite instrumental in slowing down the attack of Monarch.
Yeah, the castle's definitely coming out to slow down the attack, because since you basically have like these 2 players, and these 2 players are stuck inside that tiny room. And the castle just allows them a little bit more leg room, a little bit more leeway to sort of move around. But really early on trying to go for this wall. I think Bandit can trick, considering Sledge can just chuck a nade over the top. I think they've opened up above as well, so it's looking like they're going to open detention wall. And also just wait. Yeah, the flash is coming in. Bandit's pulling back out. There's no chance of a trick there, especially with the nades coming out. Oh, but a Nitro can get a multi-kill here. Oh, 2 for Red, picking up Honey and Citrus, but the main wall is open. But again, a 2-man advantage for Insidious. 3v5. It's not looking great for Monarch.
No, it's not. That was Cunning. Crix is going down. Furry, however, with a fantastic shot onto the boxy head of Red. King is, however, quickly retrading Org in hand. Apples, UMP taking out Skits now. And again, it's a 1v4. Poor Raindrops, all by himself again. I can only imagine how angry he would be at his team. As we see that breaches going off now, TVCX looking for that pick with the MP5, not going to find one, however. Back and forth out the window. Bullets are spraying everywhere, but none of them landing at the moment. Raindrops instead choosing to drop down and pick up the diffuser. Look to contest by the detention wall. He does find the head of Apples. That's the castle down now. Very aggressive push into the supply corridor, but his location is no one. Goes for the plan, interestingly enough. It turns out it was just a bait. He's looking to bait the attack. He's going to get taken out by Raider up through the wall. And Insidious, again, so very dominant.
The wall. Sledge over and what was Monarch doing? They weren't watching for the Nitro, even though and Capras that pick 2 and 5 in their advantage.
Yeah.
And
We
2
do
man
have a
advantage
replay.
again, and
So, with those 3 rounds under their belt, Insidious will be returning back up to the top floor. Armory Lockers defense, we see Raider Arc choosing to sick-click out from the pulse to the mute. Both operators that can be quite effective on this site. I would argue mute a bit more so, just because of that drone denial that he can bring. And obviously, Pulse is quite vulnerable down below if he hasn't got anybody to support him.
Yep. So you got Insidious coming back to the Armory Archive site. They lost it once, won it once. So it's a 50-50 right now. Again, but Monarch just needs to kind of... I think, honestly, it's just little tiny mistakes that are hitting them massively. Like just that little angle over the wall. The last time having the the Wamai holding close to the breach, be able to pick up frags. Monarch just need to like really drone out these plays, know where they are, and then expect them to do these sort of plays. Like they're just not expecting a natural to come over the wall, even though it's pretty common. But you know, Monarch need to read into a little bit more of their own attack, and I think they do a lot better. But Insidious is obviously probably trying to look for another 3v5 start, if they can find one. But yeah, jumping straight into the 5th round of the match.
Yeah, now with the way that Monarch have attacked this office site in the previous rounds, the previous 4 rounds, you'd expect them to once again try and push up and take office. And by the looks of things, that will be the case. We see there are 2 ADSs stacked on that wall, clearly anticipating some flashes and fragment part of Crixus to come in. But as it is, they just... Oh my god. Fantastic shot there from Skits onto Kingers. That's the smoke down, and a lot of defender potential lost at the hands of the Zofia. That is a spot for you to try at home for sure.
Yeah, Skits with a beautiful 1-tap onto the head of Kingers. There's your smoke gone too. Early on in the round, 2 minutes left, and no more plant denial with the smoke. Look at this, you got Raider below. It's actually, I think, a player below Tellers, and he picks him up. Raindrops goes down. That's a first. Raindrops going down first. Now, even at that 4 versus 4. And Kingers going down, but Raider picks up a second onto Fury. Onto Ferry? Down below in Workshop. It seems like Monarch knows exactly where he is, but they're just solo pushing into him, and he's just landing his shots.
Yeah, indeed, and certainly this round's gone from being in the favour of Monarch to once again being in favour of Insidious. TVCX in that cheeky little spot on top of the Archives cabinet, looking for a pick onto what I believe is Crixus down that hallway. So I'm going to find him over. Apple's bouncing up and down, left and right, looking for a frag himself. And the exthermic charge goes off, so now office is fully opened up, and by all means, right for the picking in terms of Monarch's success. Now, Crixus picking down, it's a dangerous pick to hold when there's a deployable shield there. The frag grenade does come out and take down the shield, though, swinging things slightly in favor of the ACO builder. Raiderock still playing below, though. Nitro in hand, it's certainly waiting for some intel for his team, looking for that all-important blow-up. We see just exactly how he reached diamond rank. He's got the big brain plays, he's got the mechanical skill.
I think as soon as that exothermic gets placed in the Archives wall, you're going to see you're going to see Raiders Nitro fly out, and you're probably going to see a kill, or at least a denial onto the exothermic charge. And yeah, you can see Carney's pushing in now, and with Mute still below, it's looking like he's going to chuck his Nitro up any time now. But I mean, again, a 2-man disadvantage for Monarch. It's like something we've seen time and time and again. And Apples picks up Crixus. Now to 2 versus 4. It's really not looking great. He could pick up another hit. Yeah, there he goes. Gets on the ground. Oh, TVX picks up 1, swings, doesn't get the second. That's Carney getting a really nice reflag. Carney picks up a second, but Apple shuts him out. There you go. Apple's second kill of the round shuts down Carney, and Insidious winning Armory and Archives again.
I have no clue what that Zofia was doing. That was such a vulnerable position, and quite frankly, a stupid position to be holding, laying prone in the middle of Fountain looking for a peek through a melee hole, while you know that you haven't got control of Archives and that there may be one in there. You really have to wonder, like, after that opening pick, what was he thinking looking for that kill through that?
Yeah, I mean, the positioning from Insidious hasn't really changed. Certainly the players have. Apple's no longer holding in that Archives corner, but who is? It's TVCX. They're holding in the same positions, and Monarch should know this with drones because there's no Muzzy on the board. The most they have a Mute, but they've pushed up into a position where they can shoot the jammers, but instead of doing so, they just choose to send bodies in into face check, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, and I would like to just point out as well, every time that Monarch have attacked that upstairs, they've pushed in the exact same way, and Insidious know it, they're expecting it, and they're countering every single move that Monarch are making. You'd think, you know, we're 5 rounds in now, with the 6 currently underway, that Monarch would take the hint and attack a bit different in their final attacking round.
Yeah, I mean, this is the final defending round for Insidious at 4-1. Looking pretty comfortable right now, actually. I mean, I haven't, besides that sort of first round, the second round, sorry, it hasn't been anything too close. I mean, we've just seen these early picks from Insidious, and then they just sweep up the rest of the team. There's not much to talk about, because Insidious is just playing really well.
Yeah, and so, once again, it will be Insidious following their site rotations. After winning upstairs in a quite a convincing victory, they will be defending Vents and Workshop. Once again with an upstairs hold, we saw TVCX last time be so effective playing that half-wall position. And it seems like Monarch have realized that east is not always the way, and instead will be looking to push through the west side of Armory. First off, actually, Crixus is pushing quite aggressively through offices. That wall is completely soft. It's a bit much to commit reinforcements to office wall if you're not actually defending office. But either way, it will allow the sledge easy access in there. We see the Jaeger of Raiderak looking for picks. He's not going to find one, however, but he's in a very dominant position to catch anybody that tries to push in. As you see there in the corner, the pest takes out one of the attacker drones. Raiderak still looking for a pixel peek, but he does. The feet of Raiderak will get taken out by Skits. That's one of the top fraggers for Insidious, gone down straight away, and TVCX is not willing to leave anything to chance and drops down.
Yeah, the two upstairs players from Insidious try to forfeit the Armory Archives area and pull back to Summers. Nitro picking up one, but no, it downs Furry. Great Nitro from TVCX, but in the meantime, Skits picks up Red with a double kill for the round. Now in a 5 versus 3, the tables have turned with a 2-man disadvantage for Insidious. Oh, King is here, could pick up one, but doesn't land the shots through the grates. It's pretty hard to hit those vertical angles, but look at this. This is Apples flanking up east, top east. Yeah, Apples is going for a long range hit behind the 5 players of Monarch. There is low HP on Furry, as he did get picked up. King is holding more of an off angle, but he's being spotted at the banner. But Apples just gets hit by the edge. That's revealed his position. Certainly, you can see one of the Monarch players egressing to where he was last seen and gets taken out by Carney. Now in a 5 versus 2. Kingers and TVX do both have full HP, but it is a minute left and a 5v2. Looks like a Monarch round. Oh, a great headshot by Cruciex onto TVCX, and there you go, 5 versus 1. Now King is left in a really unwinnable situation. Swing out from Skits, picks up Kingers, and there you go, a flawless round from Monarch to close it out, 4-2.
Yep, and that was it. As soon as they changed up their attack style, they won. It was as simple as that. That early pick from Skits on to the poor little feet of Jaeger allowed entry into Armory once TVCX had also given up his position. And from there, the chips fell, and it was Monarch that was able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, just really good from Monarch. They took so much control so early on that instead of like fragging out, as we see Raindrop do so often, they got that one pick on Raider and forced TVCX off that Armory Archives hold, which was really good to see. And then they capitalized on it immediately. No wasted time. They knew exactly what had happened, and they started pushing into Armory Archives, getting that vertical pressure down, and just started fragging out the players on site. Who, once you start establishing your vertical presence, they're really stuck and locked out. Like, they can't do much. If they stay in one place for too long, they get shot from above. But now we see Monarch on their first defense round, opting for Armory Archives, not surprising to see. Bringing a castle. Maybe we might see something interesting from Canny, who's been playing the hard spot of Thermite, switched onto a hard spot of Castle. But yeah, it should be good to see what Monarch can bring to the table for their first defense round.
Indeed. Once again, we're seeing that Wager combo being brought, and that is so effective if you want to deny. Like, you just look at the secondary gadgets being brought by Insidious. No frag grenade, but that's 9 flashes being brought there, so that's all the ADS is burnt right there. And if you want to counter Zofia as well as those air jabs that might be flying through sight, you're going to want the Wamai as well. So it's really quite a valuable pick, and certainly one of Ubisoft's newer defenders is getting his share of the limelight.
Yeah, I'm glad to see the Wamai being chosen some more and being played even more, because he's just such a powerful operator, and the defenders now, or just teams in general, starting to utilize him more and to use those magnets combined with the Jaeger. It's just so powerful for the defending side, and certainly since Thatcher gets banned in most games, and Max Wamai even more powerful.
Yep, as we see that the Zofia of TVCX is rappelling out there onto the CCTV balcony. He's going to breach open, look for some long line of sights onto the half wall. King is trying and failing to get the mute jammer, but the exothermic charge does go off. That's the left half and not the right half, however, but Kingers will find the pick onto Raindrops with the G8 in hand, but the quick frag out will be Raindrops back onto him. It was a trade, actually, as we see that TVCX finishing off the downed Crixus. with the lifeline is run out from Skits. However, will find Apples, but quickly retraded back by TVCX now. It's the Zofia all alone out on the CCTV balcony, pushes through, sprays, and a great shot from TVCX, as well as Raider Arc with the Type 89, finding Furry, and just a very fast round, all things said and done.
Yeah, I mean, a great shot from TVCX, a really clean flicker into a really small line held by that mute. But, I mean, in the end, again, I mean, just a good round from the side of Insidious. They did a nice split push. They had players going office and they had players going main wall. They split the attention of the defenders and then capitalized on the thinned out numbers really effectively.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly how Crixus was killed, but by playing out the player, that smoke behind the deployable shield really allowed a dominant entry from the armory side. As you see, Raider Arc will 6-pick out from Hibana to Sledge. Thank you for taking us a look at the scoreboard, and things are spread pretty evenly for both sides, but it will be Raindrops and Raider Arc leading for Monarch and Insidious respectively.
Yeah, I mean, you just see how much fragging is going on the side of Monarch, but they're just not picking up these rounds. They're 3 runs down, and our top fraggers are both on the side of Monarch. Like, it just shows what Insidious is doing. They don't need to catch all these frags every single round, but they're still winning. And it's just really good to see.
Yes, indeed it is. As we see it once again, this smoke being brought by Raindrops. I don't believe that was him last time on the smoke, but nonetheless, the smokes are being brought. Crixus also on the Mozzie, so still looking to deny those drones, even with a lack of mute.
Yep, so again, Armory and they're defending Armory and Archives because they're holding Tellers and Workshop, which is not surprising. You saw Monarch, you saw Insidious do it, sorry. It forces the attackers to do it, they have to do it. But we saw Monarch do a really dominating attack onto Insidious just before the half swap. And honestly, if Insidious can do something similar, really get good early control of Armory and Archives, it should be a really dominant round for them, but... Oh, Crixus knows, but just doesn't pull the trigger in time, and IQ... Is that IQ? Yeah, it's IQ gets away. And so Zofia gets away with her life. But it looks like the players of Insidious are setting up for a sort of a west to east taking control of CC and break.
Yes, indeed. King is there, Claymore down on the vents window, shutting down any sort of run out that could be attempted. And he will take his time, perhaps having some sort of inkling that there is a roamer downstairs, doesn't want to risk looking upwards, but nonetheless the exothermic charge will go off, and once again it will be an armory wall opened up, and TVCX opening those long angles from CCTV.
Oh, but look at this, King is just rushing to side. Oh no, sorry, they're up.
He's down below.
I blanked out for a moment. They're defending Archives and Tellers, so I didn't win it. That's my bad. Sorry. Yeah, King is below now. And certainly the IQ. Oh, but no, so Rangers picks up TVCX. He just rushes into side. It's probably not the wisest player, but Raider Arc trades with a grenade kill onto Skits. Now, King is picking up Crixus below. Raindrops on only like 1 HP. King is pushing up these armory stairs. It's looking really good for Insidious again.
Indeed, it is the IQ looking for a pick, but it will be Carney with the UMP instead, finding the head of Red. That is the Nomad down once again, spraying through. Carney's looking the wrong way. Carney will get the second kill. Sorry, it's King is looking the wrong way, but Carney will get traded out by Raider Arc. Apple's now pushing in, will find Raindrops. 1v2 Furries all by himself, and he's got attackers on either side of him. Apples is still looking for that pick. Not yourself from Furry comes out, but it's not going to land. Raider Arc's playing it safe and not jumping in. Apples with the plant going down, now peeking wide. Furry finds the head of Raider Arc now. 1v1 Furry is quite low, he's one shot. Pre-firing is the bandit now. Apples choosing to switch across to the other side, holding tight angles, letting the bandit push to him now. And Furry has a decision to make. Does he push up and try to take Armory, or does he loop around and go to CCTV? As it is, he's running out of time. He's pre-firing every conceivable spot except for the one where Apples is sat. Apples is just holding that pixel peak, and he will take the kill as Furry runs into his line of sight, and a fantastic attack.
Yeah, really good round from Insidious again. I got confused thinking they were defending Towers and Ventilation for a moment, but they weren't, which is my bad. But I mean, Insidious, it doesn't really matter to Insidious. They took control of everything they needed to. Like, Insidious really like having a player on this like AC balcony, and they keep a really nice crossfire. So in that post plant, Apple's got the plant down completely safe because watching is even though Furry hit a really nice shot onto the head of Raider. it didn't really matter in the end because he was so low HP from that engagement that 1-2 bullets from apples took him out, and you can see at the very end, just one to the shoulder, and then Bandit went down. So yeah, 6-2. 6-2 for Insidious. Third match point.
Yep, and clearly Monarch have realised that they're going to struggle to hold on upstairs, so instead take it 1 floor below to Vent's workshop. Though granted, they will still have to hold on to Armory and Archives for the most part. They want to maintain control of that first floor bomb site. As we see, once again, TVCX is on the Zofia. We've seen him be quite effective, but it will be Raider Arc this time on the IQ, with Kingers trading out for the Ash.
Yeah, so they're going for a ventilation workshop hold. Not surprising to see, since Armory and Archives hasn't worked out twice for them. So I think it's probably the wise decision from Monarch to switch to a different site. You know, the default primary site isn't working out, so maybe they try something new, and hopefully it can throw Insidious off. But it's just looking really hot right now, just with these attacking rounds, and so far they've been won very dominantly.
Yeah, and at this sort of level, I'd just like to point out, we see two ways in which the castle barricades are generally utilized. One is as a utility soak. You soak up grenades, you soak up Sophia's impact grenades, and you soak up Ash's charges, or you can use them to funnel unwary attackers into your line of sight. And with the way those reinforcements and castle barricades are set up by tellers, as well as also on that tellers to courtyard door, it's clear that Team Monarch want to sort of funnel the attackers through customs, where they're lying in wait.
Yeah, and that's the power of Castle. He really changes the entire map. It just changes the dynamic by forcing players to go a certain direction. The direction in which the defense is set up for them to attack from. But if you see here, you got a early push again through this Armory Archives area by Insidious. They really like pushing the same area, and it's been working out for them, so I don't see why not. They're clearing out these areas. I see one Ferry putting some shots down range, but nothing's landing so far. They know exactly where he is with that drone work. So they should pick up a frag just here. King is holding a nice angle down the 90 hall. Those magnets coming in huge and taking those Zofia impacts away. But yeah, the ping's coming out and the Wamai is getting pushed back. He's actually stuck upstairs, so he can't pull all the way down. Look at this, King is just coming downstairs, but Raider finally picks up Ferry upstairs. Oh, we walk straight in! Chukani picks up the headshot onto King, who walks straight into his arm. Crixus picks up one with a nitro into apples. Now it's a 4-on-3, and the tables have turned with Monarch with a man advantage. But if you look at this, Insidious now has full upstairs control.
Yes, they do, and with that, it will be the breaches starting to pop off. Now, there are 3 apiece for the Zofia and IQ. Obviously, Zophia's already gone through her impact, so none for her, but there's more than enough distractibility for them to wreak havoc and clear out the sites. They've still got a minute left to work with, which is more than enough. So we see that Red utilizing those air jabs at the top of the stairs, and it will be raindrops set in sight. Skits looking for the pick, manages to down TVCX, but gets taken so low in the process. TVCX might just have to put up with resing himself here as he does. He's only on a sliver of health. That's one shot, no matter if it's a headshot or in the hand. The Zofia will be going down, and this time she won't get up. Skits is also so low, and without a dock on the board, that could prove fatal now. But it seems that Insidious have lost their momentum. There's only 3 of them left, and Red now is in an engagement and getting taken down a tiny bit. He's actually inside. He's
Raider's pushed all the way through, trying to get some shots, but no, Crixus picks up TVCX, one behind. Raider lands the shots, finally downs the mute, confirms his kill. But look at this, Raindrops picks up Red, that low HP coming in fatal, and now a low HP Raider gets taken up by Raindrops, picking up 2. And there you go, Monarch wins round 9. I mean, they're pulling it back, they're not letting Insidious take this map away so easily.
No, they're not, and it was a shame because that attack from Insidious looked to be quite effective. They took top floor control with relatively little loss and with a lot of time left, but they just couldn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, I mean, they had that full upstairs control, but the timer was just running too low, and they had to push in. But with those smoke canisters coming down, and with all 3 still left on the board, and they can burn out a collective 30 seconds, they knew that to push, and you could see that as Raider pushed straight into sight. Couldn't land the shots onto smoke, but did confirm onto mute. But it just wasn't enough in the end.
No, it wasn't. And after their success downstairs, Monarch will be looking once again to try and defend the Armory Archives objective. As you see there, Furry 6 picking out from Bandit to Dog. That's interesting, but with the way that the IQ can come below and take out those Bandit boxes quite easily, it might going them. Obviously, even there are options to take them out without a Thatcher on that office wall. So it's, usually we will see the Bandit being taken, or at least a Kaid, but Monarch not choosing either of them.
Yeah, I mean, Monarch's, they're going back to its Armory Archive. They've lost it twice, so it's going to 0% win rate for them. It is one of the better sites, but hopefully that win on Ventilation Workshop can, give them some momentum, give them something to work off to actually pick up this next round and keep them still in this series. Because from what we've seen so far, Insidious is just looking like they're eking out on top, just being the slightly better team, and you can see it throughout the rounds as they're coming on top out of these engagements. They're refragging a little bit better, their positioning is a tiny bit better than Monarch's, and they're just winning out these rounds by little individual players from the teams.
Yeah, we saw how effective Radar was with IQ's GA1. He was able to push in and take out, or at least knock down, several members of Monarch. And unfortunately, his teammates just weren't able to capitalize. It is the start of the prep phase now. It is match point Insidious, just looking for one more win, but they are attacking, which might make things a bit more difficult. And there's no CCTV hold once again from Monarch, which will allow TBCX to come in and do what he's been doing for quite a while now, and take control of CCTV, open up those long lines of sights, and bait out those magnets so we can take out that deployable shield, which is in quite a strong position.
Yeah, see the IQ below taking out those ADSs, so Zafir can actually just impact that shield and push that smoke back. And last time it did actually net him a kill. Oh, but it still gets taken back. Oh, with Raider, a nice shot onto Crixus. There's a Maestro gone. That's really unfortunate. One of your site anchors. I'm pretty sure he saw him on the IQ scanner and then picked him up with the gun through the floor. Because if you're on your cams, the IQ scanner does show your position. But still, they have the smoke behind the shield. And actually, IQ below could try and shoot through the floor if they can get some teamwork going here and get some marks down for him. But it's looking, a bit slower now. It's a minute 20 on the board, and the team's just slowing down. The smoke's still holding this nice angle, and you can see him, you can hear him burning up those smoke canisters now, which stops Insidious pushing through. King is with a good position, could pick up the smoke, but in the meantime, Furry picks up Raider. Oh, and Raindrops picks up Apples, and almost a refrag from TVCX, but doesn't hit it. But King has refrags instead with that sandwich window angle. And TVCX is just holding outside this breach, still shots ringing out. Oh, he sees the gun. He sees one, but no! Through the small wall. Through the wall that's small, sorry. Skits picks up TVCX, now to 2 versus 3. The numbers advantage not on the side of Insidious, and those Dockstins coming in huge to put Skits back up to full HP. He's challenging the Ash, but nothing's coming out of it.
Yeah, flashes there coming in through Sandwich, but Red pings on sight. Red look for a plan. It's a distinctive tone that cannot be mistaken with anything else. King is, however, on Sandwich window, manages to find one, but doesn't find Skits, the man himself, pushing up with Jaeger, takes out both of them, and another round for Monarch. A much more successful defense this time, and might even be looking to push this first map into overtime.
Yeah, I mean, this time we just didn't see Monarch lose those numbers so early on, which was really good to see. They used utility a bit better to prolong their players' lives, and it showed because they won the round. Last time we saw Monarch defend, they lost so many players so early on, it really wasn't looking great for them. But this time they're playing a little bit more reserved. They're waiting, they're not so heavily relying on shields and stuff that can be destroyed so early on. And you can see how they're adapting to how their opponent's playing is really working out at a 6-4 scoreline.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that shield that Raindrops had that was near to half wall, that remained intact. And even though those magnets were shot out from the IQ down below, the rest of the Sophia impacts were actually caught by the ADS, which allowed Raindrops to sit in that position, and he ended up taking out Radar before getting refragged by Kingers, which was a massive kill. Radar has been one of the most influential members of Insidious so far, and getting that, what is relatively an early pick onto him, really did prove to be a turning point in the round. But they've chosen to go to CCTV and, sorry, not CCTV, customs this time, which is interesting.
Yeah, customs inspection and supply. It's you know, the third choice pretty much for all teams. Tellers and bathroom is really not used because I think teams have explored it and they've tried to make it work, but it just hasn't. So it's not surprising to see Carney back on the castle. We did see them go customs beforehand, and Carney was on the castle. Actually, did we? No, we saw Insidious go customs. My bad. And they had a player on the castle. So you can see both teams like having the those little barricades up to help their players upstairs. And we're about to jump into the round timer. Here we go, and we should see an interesting attack from the side of Insidious. So they have a lot of options when they want to attack this side.
Indeed, they do, and once again, a lot of defenders and utility being committed upstairs because you can hold on to the customs from upstairs. But that first breach does go off, presumably taking out a castle barricade onto Bake Room. Yes, indeed, it's TVCX again on the Zofia. She is such a strong operator, but when compared to a Thatcher, you're going to ban the ladder 9 times out of 10. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a Zofia ban.
Yeah, Zofia bans are really rare because you know, you can change your out so easily. Like, you can't change Thatcher out. There's like a Carly, but only for wards. But Thatcher, there's no alternative. Whereas there are so many alternatives to Zofia, who's just a heavy fragger in the end with a lot of utility, and you know that can be changed up for an Ash, or it can be changed up for an IQ even because of just the fragging ability of the 3 speeds. We have a look here. They're really pressuring these castle barricades upstairs. You've got Raindrops and Carney both hard holding here with those hatches open, so they can move back to site if they need to and preserve their lives. But they're just waiting for these gunfights. The defenders know the attackers have to come towards them, and they can just be patient.
Yeah, there's a lot of time being burnt here, but TVCX with an aggressive push in will take out the Jaeger of Raindrops, and he has Break Room now. So it will be Carney the Castle left all alone as he looks to take out TVCX. Will only land 1 shot, but in return gets taken down. So first, aggressive push here from TVCX with pistol in hand, but the Castle realizes that this battle is lost and drops below. But Skits with a fantastic shot up through the hatch takes out TVCX, and there's now coming up on a minute left and basically no site control in the hands of Insidious. Now I'm not sure what King is doing out over there, but either way he's not contributing. Red spraying down through the hatch looking for a pick, isn't going to find one. However, the clock continues to tick down. Aggressive push here from Raiderock, flashing in, instead chooses to go around the other way through Workshop, looking for a pick by the deskies. He's not going to find anybody also now. Drones are coming into sight, red pings everywhere now, and the 2 defenders hiding by detention do get caught out. And as the bandit runs across, Red will just miss his shots. Raiderock, however, manages to find one. Apples second onto Furry now, and it will be Skits and Crixus up against the main might of Insidious now. Plant from Apples goes down. Smoke grenades coming out. Skits looking for the pick with the AUG, isn't going to find one ever. Crixus pushes up, takes out Raiderock, but the plant is down now. Apples has got that plant successfully down by the window. Crixus shotgunning open that supply wall, pre-firing. He's not going to find anybody, however, as Skits will get taken out from the hatch by Red. King is AFK, who knows? But either way, his teammates certainly do seem to have it in hand now. Crixus, aggressive push up into the hatch, smoke grenades, looking to block the line of sights for Red on the Nomad. Pushing up through the window. He might get taken out from the hatch in nonetheless. No, he's not. He's just playing it too slow, but it will be Red with a fantastic play from the hatch and another round for Insidious, which will give them this first map win.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a little couple of rounds going to the way of Monarch. Looks like they could have brought it to overtime, but no. Insidious shuts it out on customs and special, just waiting for their chance, waiting for an opening in the defense of Monarch, and they capitalize on it. And that's 7-4. That's our first map border, which was the pick of Insidious going in their favor.
Yeah, and when a team picks a site,
pick of Monarch, sorry.
that they would. Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, of course it would be Monarch.
It was the pick of Monarch, and they lost it, which isn't great because your pick is a map you expect to be more rehearsed on. You choose the map for a reason, and it seems like Insidious coming out on top. Seems like they were more prepared for that.
Indeed, they were. So after that first map, we will cut to an ad break. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back soon.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to AEC Main Stage Day 1. We're in our second series of the day. Second map, it is Theme Park with Monarch playing against Insidious. But Insidious is a man down. They have lost a player over the break, and they are playing 4v5, which is it's not ideal because you're always going to have the man disadvantage. Basically, you're always going to have like an entry death for each round. But it is Theme Park, the newest map, the newest addition to the map pool. And I am joined by SamTom yet again. Hi, SamTom. How you going?
Yeah, pretty good. As you said, poor Kingers of Insidious is no longer playing tonight, so he will leave it up to his teammates to do their best, as the first ban on the part of Monarch will be Thatcher.
Yeah, Thatcher's going off. Not surprising to say. We've seen him every map tonight. I mean, I think we've seen him every single map in this entire season. It's really not surprising to see him. He's such a powerful operator, and it's just unsurprising to see him. Insidious banning out Blackbeard. I think this is the second time they banned out Blackbeard. They're really not a fan of the man with the face shield, which isn't surprising because he's pretty powerful.
Yeah, indeed he is. And just on the whole, pretty annoying to play against. Speaking of annoying, Echo being banned. Yeah,
Echo going out. Oh my god, it's Echo again. Never. No one's ever going to play Echo during an AEC match, or really any match. People don't like playing against Echo, and it's for a good reason. So many rounds we see come down to the last 10 seconds, the last 5 seconds, and who thrives in the last seconds of a match? It's Echo. And we see Mira being banned out as well. It's not surprising to see. She's so powerful in pretty much every match because she has that one-way shield and the ability to completely change the playstyle of a defending team. So it's not surprising to see her being banned out.
Yeah. So, that is. I think most of those operators, if not all, have been banned for both series tonight. So those poor blokes won't get much game time. But an operator that will is Jackal. We see TVCX is playing the Spanish Geo operator, and there's a very good reason why. Theme Park is a big map. It has lots of dark little nooks and crannies that can be exploited by any roaming defenders, and Jackal is the guy that you want on your team to take them out.
Yeah, seeing the Jackal is not surprising considering Theme Park's it's a newer map, and not all the players are fully aware of all the little corners. Even though all the players in AAC will have a good understanding of what's what, and which places are accessible, which places aren't. They may not be aware like some of the little corners, like this little corner here behind the vending machine, or that wall that can be open, that tiny soft wall. So it's just little things that really make Jackal a lot more powerful. But again, I got to stress that Insidious is attacking, so they're already on the unfavored side, as well as the fact that it is a 4v5. So they are forced to play a man down every single round, which is really detrimental to them. Yeah,
and I'm quite surprised here. With Thatcher being banned, usually we will at least see a Maverick being bought, and especially when the throne room is the default. Even though they're not in throne room at the moment, there are still banded walls that need to be opened up. And unless you can ensure the safety of the IQ as she goes below and takes out those bandit boxes, even if that's even possible, if the bandits are placed over an unbreakable floor, it might not even be possible to take them out from below. But even still, it's putting all your eggs in one basket just to get that wall open when you could take Maverick, who's often a safer pick, though he does require a bit more skill. He also has frag grenades. So, the interesting operator choice here by Insidious, but with one man down, you're going to have to make cuts somewhere.
Yeah, in a man down situation, defending is obviously easier, but a man down on attack just is worlds harder. Like, especially when attack is really vying for that entry frag to make the... Because even a 5v4, when you're attacking and your defenders have a man disadvantage, it's still defender side, just because they can hold passive and wait for you. But yeah, I mean, 4 players against 5 and they're attacking have to push into these sight lines, it's not looking great.
No, it's not there. As you see, TVCX on the Jackal is pushing to cash, pre-firing, but it won't be him taking the kill. It'll be Carney onto red. The Nomad down early. Radioact quickly trading out onto the Bandit, but also getting dropped by the counterpart being Raindropped. So early frags here, and it will be a 4v2 now. Granted, Raindrops is only about half health. Strain will be TVCX finding the head of the Y. 3v2 now, and office is completely empty, but Furry is holding a sight line onto it. He will get droned out and likely pulled out as well as a player, which is behind the bomb site. I believe that is Skits on dock. He rotates back around to the small little cubbyhole where he will effectively be trapped, as there is no rotate out onto the top of yellow stairs. Apple's holding the tight angle on the flank, waiting for another one to come to him. TVCX, however, with a double kill, finds Skits, both of his smokes getting pulled by magnets and going off in completely the wrong spot. That is a lot of utility gone right there. And even though Raindrops is dead, his legacy still lives on now. Looking for the Inox footprint. He isn't going to find anybody, though. TVCX knows that he has the sight. Actually, he doesn't now because he's just droned out the Jaeger. But it will be Crixus taking out TVCX with his triple kill onto Furry now. It is a 1v1. Crixus versus the Jackal. Spraying down through initiation. C7E doesn't land any of his shots. Now, Crixus is just holding a pixel there. What a pixel that is. Now, TVCX, it does have the diffuser available to go for a plant option, but that would be quite risky with the time left. And in the situation that he is, it's definitely the unsure of the two plays. But regardless, he goes for the plant now, and Crixus, likely having some sort of intel, starts to push up with the SMG-11, holding out the default spot. And as soon as TVCX cuts up, Crixus takes out his second kill and the round for Monarch.
I mean, yeah, a great individual play from Crixus, winning it out in a 1v1 at the end, but you just look at if Insidious had a full 5 players, how that could have been completely different.
Yeah, I think is the simple question. They might have had one more man at the plant, which would have allowed one more angle to have been covered, and possibly the frag onto Crixus. So I think yes is the answer.
Yeah, but good round from the side of Crixus certainly, who came in clutch with that. I mean, a really nice shot into the first player, holding at that cash double door, and then I guess the second onto TVCX. So like when you're defusing, your head kind of dips down, but as soon as you stop it, it drops up, and you got pretty much a free headshot because there's a short window in which Jackal or whoever's defusing can't pull out their gun. But going into the second round, and it looks like honestly, because Insidious took the first map, that we might go to this might be Monarch as a second map, and we might want to go all the way to our third map tonight, just to decide who wins. Just because, again, Insidious is playing 4v5.
Yeah, and the thing was, they weren't even defending what is probably one of the stronger bomb sites, that being the one that they are in now, Initiation Throne Room. Not Initiation Throne Room, sorry, Armory Throne Room. They were defending Initiation Office, which is typically one of the tertiary sites for a lot of teams. They did a fantastic job of it, and were really able to pull apart the attack from Insidious. And once again, a lack of Maverick will make it very hard, nay, impossible, to get through these walls.
I mean, yeah, definitely. These walls are going to be impenetrable with the Mute, the Bad, the Kaid. Like, just combined, they have enough wall denial and just drone denial to really shut down any Eagles from Insidious. So they're doing everything they can to make it harder for the side of Insidious. And honestly, for Monarch, as long as they don't get, picked off too early on, should be pretty easy for them. Oh, but in saying that, it picked up too early on, Apples gets a great shot onto Skits, who was in... I got him through the wall. That is so unlucky. Just pre-firing through that wall, gets a nice headshot onto Jaeger. I think maybe it was spawn peeking. That's very aggressive from Skits if he was, but it evens out the odds, which puts Insidious in a slightly better position. Apples is low on HP at about 45, but it's not looking too bad.
Yeah, as you see there, Raindrops holding an angle, waiting for the repelling attacker to come in. Now, when the attacker repels in, the way that the animation looks and does leave the defenders at a slight advantage, but Raindrops clearly not happy with that. Instead, looks for the run out, peeks for the repel, but alas, there is nobody there to shoot. Suspecting that one of the barrels peeks up, it will be Raindrops taking out, taking out Raiderak, and securing the bottom floor. Apples, holding a tight angle though, is looking for the rotating Raindrops now. MP7 in hand, looking for the pick. He doesn't realize that Apples is holding a tight angle behind the bolt.
Literally next to each other. Oh, but the Jackal scan comes out, but we were actually in time just to pick up Raindrops now to 3v3. I thought Ban was going to pick it up there for a second, but the Jackal scan just comes out and takes him down. But I'm curious to why Monarch's being so aggressive on these roams when they have already the man advantage from the start. They can sort of just wait. They can wait on site, especially with Armory and Throne, which is such a powerful site on Theme Park. It is the most powerful site for the defenders. They can honestly just wait, and with all the utility that is combined with Bandit, Kaid, and Mute, they can really just wait. Like, they don't have to do that much, and you can see Monarch is just, they're finally waiting on site. And I really think they should have just 5-man totaled, honestly, because the man disadvantage from Insidious already makes them cautious. They don't have to have those defenders to be that aggressive.
Yes, indeed. As we see that, the Nitro cell from Carney, Kaid finding that kill onto TVCX. The Jackal goes down. I was just about to say, TVCX has done a good job filling 2 roles of sorts. He's got the Eye to 12 in his back pocket, which can allow him to open up some sightlines from above, sort of functioning as a pseudo buck, a pseudo sledge, if you will. But he gets taken out. And now it's a 2v3 now, but the advantage, despite a clear man advantage, is in favor of Monarch. They have this site completely locked down, but it will be red with the headshot onto Furry now. Still got to push, but it's both attackers pushing from one side now. This could be disastrous. GCSG shots coming out will take out Apples, as it will be Crixus with the SMG-11 finding red and the second round for Monarch. And it seems like this man deficit might be more impactful than Insidious had hoped.
Yeah, I think Insidious were probably, hoping that the man disadvantage wasn't going to be the worst thing for them to deal with. But it really just seems like you never know. That's the thing. You never know what a 5th man could have done in this situation. Like, it could have made Monarch less aggressive, but you just really can't tell. And honestly, that attack from Insidious, they got funneled in towards those doorways, which honestly are just kill boxes, really, for the defending side. That they just have to look one direction, don't have to worry about anything else. They can focus on their aim. They walk basically into their crosshairs, and it's honestly just I want to say a free round. They did have to work for it, but in the end, it comes down to 10 seconds and 2 players run through a single doorway. It's really hard to see how defenders lose that.
Yeah, and I mean, that site is strong by default. And when you haven't got a buck pressure from above, when you haven't brought a Maverick to try and open up the walls in barrels and maintenance, it's basically, it's impenetrable. It's a fortress where defenders can just hide out and chuck nitro cells onto the roof. But with their success on the defensive rounds, Monarch have once again gone back upstairs, but this time shifted slightly to the west side and will try to defend daycare and bunks. Bringing the castle is fairly standard pick on this site. He offers a lot in the way of slowing down the attackers, and with only Radar bringing breach charges, it could mean a bit more time spent, which, as we all know, could lead to a round win.
Yeah, but as we go into the 3rd round, you just can't get over the fact that Insidious is a man down. Like, it's so hard on attack when you lose that entry pick, and it's like, oh, we now are 4v5 trying to take a site, and they have to deal with that every single round, and they can't have that man come back in, so they're going to have to deal with having a man disadvantage every single round, and honestly, I think a lot of these rounds, if Insidious wins them, it's going to come down to just pure fragging ability, especially from TVCX and Raider, who we've seen to be so powerful in these situations when it comes down to just pure fragging. But on the side of Monarch, you have got Raindrop and you have got Crixus, who have been really showing up.
Yeah, and that is quite an angle being held there by Skits. He'll get anybody that wanders into Cafe. At the moment, that does look to be the unwary TVCX. He does just spot the head of the Jackal, but Skits holds his fire, holds his trigger finger, seeing the head again, spraying through, but will not find the kill. TVCX knows he's up there and is sort of pre-firing those spots. He's not able to land any onto the Wamai, however. Aggressive pushes from Raindrops here aren't going to land either. The Maestro Cam's right there. That's a lot of valuable intel onto Cafe, and Skits from that perch up top will find TVCX. That's the Jackal down once again. And a lot of the momentum in Cafe lost is still to utilize, but with Raindrops on that deployable shield setup, it's very strong. Flashbang's being caught on Mag, well, at least one, will force Raindrops to take a step backwards, allowing Red to push up a bit further. Whether or not they know that he's there is unknown, but Radar with a kill on the Furry and another segment onto Crixus takes only one shot in the process. Red as well onto Raindrops. Suddenly, the favor is in the hands of Insidious now.
Yeah, we'll talk about these rounds from CS being won pretty much off the back of frag, and yeah, you got Raider stepping up to the plate as well as Red stepping up as well. But yeah, Carney finally refrags, a really late refrag onto Apples now in a 2 vs 2. Low HP on Carney and low HP on Red. Air jab hits one. Oh, Raider could pick up a kill here if Carney is unaware of his position and on low HP. He's right through this wall, sees him on the mark, wants the back, and there you go. There's Maestro down. Now on a 1 versus 2 for Skits. He does a full HP. We've seen how good he is landing these shots before in these 1vx situations. A great pick onto Red. Now on a 1 versus 1. His teammate is still down. He's wanting his back towards, but no, he can't land the shots. Raider just hits nice, but can't fully connect. Oh, but finally gets the final shots onto Skits. Great play from Raider. And I highlighted him before that he's needed to step up his individual play, and he did just then.
Yeah, and that kill onto the Maestro. It's, when that mechanic was tweaked so that IQ could now see defenders on their cameras, everybody thought, well, sure, that will come in handy every once in a while. But Radioark has proven himself now that twice tonight that he's used that mechanic to his ability, and he downed the Maestro through the wall so unsuspectingly that it was, it just proves how massive an IQ this bloke has.
Yeah, Raider, he just had the insight, had the knowledge to check on that scanner, sees Maestro on his on his phone, checking his cams, and there you go, he's gone down straight away, and then Raider's put in a 1v1 and he wins it out. It's a really good individual play from Raider, and as I said before, with that man disadvantage, so many of these rounds of Insidious are going to win them. It's going to come down to the fraggers on the team, the people who can really step up their individual play, and so far we've seen everyone do it. Apples has, Red has, Raider definitely has, and so has TVCX. Like we've just seen on Border, both Raider and TVCX having such a huge influence, but it's just good to see that only the 4 Insidious players all stepping up to the plate.
Yes, and now that their first win has elapsed, it will allow Monarch to head back on up to the initiation room and office defensive site. Mozzie is such a common operator to be brought on this site just because of the choke points that drones are forced to go through if any intel wants to go on. But in conjunction with a mute will virtually shut down any sort of intel gathering from the attackers.
Yeah, the mute Mozzie combo is so powerful. It's probably the most powerful combo for the attackers when you take away individual operators, because you try to put your attacker's utility is drones. That's what it comes down to. Is they have the advantage because they have drones, they have that live inter. But look, Mozzie just picked up another drone just then, and they have mute jammers too. It just stops so much intel gathering from the side of any attacking team. It's just really powerful, and another defense from Carney holding the sort of same angle. He's jiggle peeking a little bit onto these Insidious players. He's got to be careful as they do land their shots more often than not. But it's slowed down a bit.
Yeah, Carney was holding that tight angle, and he goes through a gutsy barricade knowing that nobody's there. TVCX opening up the security hatch and finds the head, well, not the head, but he finds the body of Furry at least. And even though Jaeger's now a 2 armor, it's not going to do much when you got that many bullets coming at you.
Yeah, certainly a good frag from TVCX and a nice opening pick, even at 4v4. Usually we'd say that's a good opening pick even at 4v5, but no, again with the man disadvantage, it's 4v4, but Raider with a shot onto Skits, knocking his head off, and a really close engagement, and TVCX finally picks up Carney, that bandit, playing around that little metal half wall. Shot swinging out, almost confirms a kill into Crixus, who's holding pretty far back. Raindrops is receiving some gunfire, but so is Crixus, both defenders on low HP. Crixus pulls out a shotgun. This looks like a really strong round from Sid. The fragging ability is coming in huge, now just Mute and Wamai left on the board. Insidious is really taking their time. A swing out, and TVCX gets his 3rd kill of the round, picks up Crixus, now in a 1 versus 4 situation. What can Raindrops do? Has to get basically an ace to win this out. They're pushing in, gets the first onto Nomad, sees a second, he's swinging wide, he's not sure what's happening. A great flip by Raindrops. Fantastic shot, but Apples are putting the diffuser down with TVCX covering his back. It's not looking like a great situation for the low HP Wamai. TVCX could look for his 4th kill of the round. He's looking at the wrong side, but Raindrops, if he gets this one, TVCX, it is looking possible, but the gunfight's exchange, a great shot by Raindrops, but it's a trade actually. TVCX and Raindrops trading each other out, and there you go, it came down close with amazing gunplay from Raindrops, but Insidious just closes it out.
Yeah, gutsy plays there from Carney. He was playing by that half wall in cash stash, but just wasn't able to capitalize on anything. The swing wide from Mute, looking to get that nitro cell, you put yourself in such a vulnerable position when you are ripping out that C4, and TVCX just took advantage of what was basically a free kill at that point. And then we have the Jaeger as well, who I believe was Skit. He got caught fairly early in the round, and it was those 3 frags that really allowed Insidious to push their attack and not even lose a member until pretty much the plant was down.
Yeah, that was a really good round from Insidious. They just played really well as a team, and even only with the 4 players, with that 5th player being away, they're just playing really well together, and it's good to see. It's 2-2 on Theme Park, which is definitely defender-sided map. All new maps are pretty much defender-sided, considering that most teams don't know how to attack them today. But it's looking pretty good for Insidious, actually. I was expecting this to be more of a Monarch-sided map, but based on the 4v5 and their defending first. But no, Insidious is really showing it what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, well, this was Insidious's map pick. So after their performance on Monarch's map pick, you'd hope that they would perform equally, if not even more successfully than they did on Border. And so far, with a man down, they've done a fantastic job of that. But anyway, Monarch now rotating back downstairs following their little cycle of sites. They have brought some similar operators to the board. Again, there's so much in the way of, what's the word, breach denial, I suppose it is, with the Bandit, the Kaid, and the Mute all able to deny exothermic charges. It's a wonder why there's not much in the way of defender utility denial from Insidious.
Thatcher is banned, to be fair, but they are just bringing the IQ. There's not much else they're taking. They could bring a Maverick, they could bring a Havana. There's lots of other plays that are available to them.
Oh, even a Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much they can choose from, but they're still sticking to this 4-man core, and honestly, I can't fault it that much. It is working out pretty well. So it's just, from the side of Insidious, I keep stressing this 4v5 because it's huge. They shouldn't be winning these in 4v5 situations, but they're just working out really well. And yeah, you can see IQ using her utility to get rid of some of this wall denial, of which there is an unbelievable amount on the side of Monarch. But again, I'm still confused about why Monarch has these players offside. But in the meantime, Raideruck picks up raindrops, even out 4v4. Could get a second from TVCX picking up the Jaeger, but no. Skits is just pulling back a bit. I think he realized he doesn't have to take that gunfight, and he's just waiting for maybe an over-aggression from the side of Insidious, but I don't think TV's actually going to give it to him. Actually, he might if he pushes down the kill, but no, it's the scan coming out. He knows exactly where he is, and TVCX picks up another kill, his 8th for the round. This man is fragging out so much. Vertical play coming down from IQ, and now in a 4 vs 3, it's looking like Insidious's side.
Yes, indeed it is now. And with raindrops and skits down as well, it's all up to Crix's Furry and Carney to hold on to the site now. And with the sight line that TVCX has open, he's staring right there. He might have just seen the shoulder there, but he won't. It's Carney whipping out the DMR. I say DMR, ironically, of course, it is a slug shotgun, but nonetheless, it gets the job done onto the head of TVCX. Exothermic charge now onto the hatch, alongside flashes to burn the ADS will mean that there is another entryway onto site. Instead of being forced to push through by Dragon Raideruck now peeking, jet in hand looking for the pick by Throne Room. There's a lot of Goryu shields around that can offer some cover. Furry who's hit back there, but it will be Raideruck with a double kill onto Carney now. Still spraying, there's coming to, the clock is ticking now, and it will be Insidious that have to push and get some sort of thing. Nitro Cell from Furry comes out, aggressive pushing from Raider, as it will be Crixus with the shotgun on 2-1, and Furry, the Vector headshot onto Raideruck, and another round in favor of Monarch.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's looking still. I mean, Armory and Archives, Armory and Throne. It's such a strong site because it almost forces you to open up some of those walls. And when you have the man disadvantage plus a Bandit, Mute, and Kaye on the board, you really can't open up those walls. You don't have the power to split up your team and to do these things individually when you kind of have to. And it shows at the end when you get funneled through doorways, through these small angles in which the defense really has the advantage. Even with that man disadvantage, like it was a 3-2 for the side of Insidious, but they're both pushing through doorways. The sides of Insidious, so they just get funneled into the sightlines of Monarch, and that's kind of it. There's not much else to say about that. It just comes down to how the teams are playing right now, and you can just see Monarch has the advantage, even in these more or less should be favored Insidious gunfights. It's just having that ability by being the defending team first. It's just huge. It's huge.
Yeah, I've just done a quick calculation, And combined, Mute, Kaid, and Bandit can lock down 18 walls. 1-8.
That's I think more walls than any site has. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and with the Bandit and Mute being brought once again, no Kaid this time, in lieu of a Valkyrie and a Jaeger instead. There's, there's still those 12 walls that can be bandited or jammed by the two operators. So it's a lot for Insidious to work through. And, now that it is the final round of this half, they really do want to keep things as even as possible as they move to defend.
Yeah, I mean, the last round of Monarch's defending half, they really should pick up this round to get a better, better start into their attacking side.
Oh,
the siege timing is just baiting both sides. It was so close. Could have been a pick either way. Raider and Skits both have some amazing mechanical skill, and it could have been an interesting engagement. But no, just the timing pulls off just in time for Raider to get through with little contention. So, I mean, yeah, last round they're going back to initiation office. We should see what's going on here. They are aware of how Monarch play this. They have played the same way each round, and Raider's really looking to get some frags below, trying to pick up a round or two, but no! Skits below picks up Raider. That's really not good for the side of Insidious, making that man disadvantage even worse. Now in a 5v3 with no refrag potential at all. TVCX is trying to get aggressive, maybe get the head on Jaeger. But no, there are no players on Monarch willing to just give him the kill, except for this Jaeger. He's now holding the angle of... If Furry gets a little too aggressive, he could get his head chopped off, or headshot off, sorry, by TVCX, who has been so good on the Jackal this game, on 8 kills. But nothing so far. I think Furry has got the call that he can be way less aggressive, considering they have the 2-man advantage, and they can just wait.
Yeah, and I think now as we see that TVCX absorbs a couple of shots there from Furry, that it will be Insidious that are committing so hard to this cash take, and it feels like if they don't get cash, then they can't win. That was where they planted last time they won on the office initiation site. And for all intents and purposes, it completely lost as we see Raindrops finds the head of Apples. That is the thermite gone. That's the hard breach lost, and it's also the diffuser dropped in the control room. So it'll have to go and be retrieved by one of the members of Insidious now. Red holding angles with the ARX, looking for another kill. Pre-fires down the hallway. Isn't going to find anybody, but in return doesn't get killed. Raindrops with a second kill, however, onto TVCX will leave the Nomad in a 1v5 situation. Pre-firing is Raindrops, but it will be Furry on the 416. That takes Red, and another round for Monarch.
Yeah, 3-3. Oh, sorry, 4-2 half, maybe. No, 4-2 half for Monarch. That's really what they wanted. They wanted to get those rounds up. They want to have the advantage going to the second half, considering it is going to be the defending side for Insidious. Now, the man disadvantage comes into way less effect for a defending side, considering at most you can 4-man anchor on site, which is generally what you have on defenses anyway. You very rarely find a 5-man anchor on site, considering Rome are so influential. But yeah, you'll see the my Jaeger combo being brought out, Vigil on the side of TVCX and Bandit, and they're going to initiate an office, which is interesting considering that Throne and Armory is considered the better site on Theme Park. But you can see on the side of Monarch, they had a Finker in the original pool, but they've swapped out for a Buck, which I think is wise, considering Finker might be erring on the side of maybe an aggressive play that wouldn't really work out if Insidious were playing tight on site.
Yeah, and I sort of thought that perhaps they'd remain Finker just with the frag grenade, but Raindrops are playing Sledge nonetheless. And if you're using those little explosive balls correctly, then you don't need more than 2, let's be honest. But either way, it's the Buck traded out. Now, DVCX is on the visual, so he's definitely going to be roaming, or at least roaming for the most part. That's a little spot that I haven't quite seen. It's quite interesting, and will allow him to get a peek onto Cafe Door without having to open up any rotates. That's definitely one that I'll be using ranked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's interesting to see TV6 on the Vigil, considering like the man disadvantage. We keep going on about it, but it is huge. You generally don't see it in like any matches, but in this match you do have it. So he's probably he's actually not roaming too far away from site, but in the meantime, Raider with a great spawn peek takes out Furry, diffuses down outside, and your IQ gone. That's a great pick. They have to keep getting these, they kind of have to keep picking these spawn peaks, because having that 5v4 is so tough, but eating out to a 4v4 with an early kill and no refrag potential, it's really good for the side of Insidious.
Yeah, and they're clearly relying on frags because there's barely anybody on site. Only Apples and Red on the Wumai and Bandit, respectively, are looking down the site. And that's not a lot, even for a team that is a man down. Apples with an aggressive push up through the showers, Weber, will not land anybody because no one's pushing from over that way, which is also quite uncharacteristic of a attack.
Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing the setup come out from Monarch, trying to figure out what they're going to do to counteract this attack from this defense from Insidious. Sorry, and they're honestly just droning things out, waiting to see if they can maybe get an early pick to see if they can find where this Vigil's roaming possibly. But you've got Raider, and you've got Apples both on side, combined with Red on the side across the hall, just literally locking everything down, just waiting for the attackers. Like, the defenders don't have to be aggressive. They don't have to go for these gunfights. They don't have to push them. They can just wait. And when they do, you just see Monarch probably find a win through these doorways if they can't get these walls open with the thermite. And it could be a pretty strong round for Insidious, considering the time is going to be almost down to a minute soon. And Jaeger still holding very aggressive up next to this desk. There's one right to his left. Look, an aggressive pick from Apples onto Crixus. Works out. Another 3 vs 4. Could get refragged here by... Oh, so Raider could get his refrag, but no, he's super low, only on about 1 HP. But Apples is here to support. In a great position, but Raider with a nice swing gets the second kill for the round, but refragged by Carney. Raindrops is down though. Apples is still on half HP, pushing again, aggressively pushing forward in the same position, takes out Carney. Now you have Skits left for the 1v3 situation. What can he do on the rappel? He's just waiting for something to happen. He's just chilling outside. There's nothing for him to do. The side of Insidious is just being so aggressive, and honestly, I look flustered, going, what has gone on? What has happened right now? I'm sure Apples hears Nomad walking right outside his door. Go get his last kick for the round. Find another shots, but no, a nice kill from Skits. Now to 1 vs 2, evening out the odds a little bit, but still got a 2-man against just himself. TVCX is a little bit far away from site. Actually, the A site is clear, but TVCX is so close, and Skits is going below. I'm pretty sure both defenders should have heard him. With only 10 seconds left on the board, they've got to rush into site. If he walks straight to Red, he's going to get picked up straight away by holding... Yep. He sees them. Oh, doesn't initiate the gunfight. Oh, Red just not landing a shot straight away, and actually Nomad survives the round. But again, Insidious winning round 7. There you go, it's 4v3. 4 rounds to 3.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to pin down one point where that fell apart for Monarch. But definitely a key point was Carney. He was set at the top of the Dragon Stairs and just wasn't expecting anybody to round that corner, and it was the Wumai being controlled by Apples, I believe, that just pushed up so aggressively with the organ hand and took him out, and without anybody there to get an immediate refrag, it was just free real estate for Insidious.
It really was, but Apples' push all the way up that double hallway straight towards those two, he did it twice. The first time he picked up a frag, the second time he did the exact same thing and picked up a second frag. Like, Apples is just getting really aggressive, and it's working out. I can't fault them for playing as they are. With advantage, disadvantage, they've really got nothing to lose. They're a map up. They're just going for these fights, and they're winning.
Yes, indeed they are. So we see a pretty similar, actually no, exactly the same operator selection here. TVCX again on the Vigil, Apples the Wumai, Raiderak the Jaeger, and Red the Bandit, and they'll look to hold initiation. We see that rotate's been opened up between Bunk and initiation, so it will be key in holding onto that east side. So clearly they're expecting Monarch to push from that eastern side, perhaps looking to take cash stash and control.
Yeah, they're opting for bakery. What's up, bakery? Oh, my words today. Bunks, and train. Train room. Or I think we could kids room as well. I mean, it kind of varies.
Daycare.
There you go.
TVCX with the...
He's not going to land.
He's not going to land any... It seems like Monarch have learned their lesson and aren't going to be peaking and losing another one.
Yeah, it seems like again, all these angles above in daycare trying to get little peaks onto cafe. They're really strong. But yeah, you know, you can definitely see Insidious, they really want these Storm Peaks, not because they're trying to disrupt the side of Monarch, they just need to even out the odds, because it is a 4v5. But hopefully we should see some good frag. This angle from Apples, it could be really influential if maybe Jaeger could bait some players into the cafe side. So taking out these drones is making the probably making the attackers want to push it in more and more, realizing that it's clear. Could get picked up here. Raiders being very aggressive onto this window, but nothing's going to come out of it. And a minute left, and really not much has happened.
No, there is not. There's the better part of 2 minutes still left. But that is more than enough time for Monarch to take some action to get the kill. And it will be the Thermite of Furry and the Ash of Skits now in Cafe. We see Raider holding a very tight angle, and Skits is returning the favor, watching the flank from main stairs now with drones coming up. The clock continues to tick down, and Monarch are certainly being a lot less aggressive than they have shown themselves to be before now. Maverick is shooting, looking for a pick. Oh, Skits just avoiding walking into the LOS of Jaeger, and Jaeger not able to return the favor. Apple's spraying will land a couple of shots from the Furry, but it will be Skits taking out Raider, as Apples will refrag onto Skits, and raindrops back onto Apples. Back and forth it continues to go. Exothermic charges now popping off. TVCX has pushed up the global shield now, peeking down the hallway. Red pings are coming out. He's being very aggressive here. Crixus finds red, however, TVCX is all by himself now, K1A in hand. He looks to take out Carney as he goes to the plant. Brain finds the head of Raindrops now, looking to peek by Cafe. Finds the head of Furry as well. The plant's been stopped, however. There's still about 30 seconds left, though. TVCX holding the long angle down that hallway now. He needs to reload. He doesn't have a lot left in the magazine. He's going to struggle if he gets pushed. Instead, it decides to flank into daycare, not finding anybody. Carney takes the opportunity to go for a plant now. Crixus is tiny bit damaged. Peeking with the SMG-12, TVCX is looking the wrong way. Peeks up, cannot find the head of the Nomad. Peeks around again, but will get taken out by Carney. That 44 Magnum sealing the deal.
Yeah, I mean, TVCX looked really good in that situation, picking up those first two, but just the manpower from the side of Monarch coming out on top. I mean, a 1 versus 4 is a pretty tough mountain to climb, and I mean, TVCX just couldn't win it out against a good rotation from Monarch towards the other bomb site, realizing there's probably no point in contesting TVCX when his mechanical skill is just on fire right now.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate because he really did look like he might have been able to clutch it out, but he pushed up, and we saw just how many angles he was trying to cover, and as soon as his shots on the Carney, it was all over. Yeah,
pretty much. And a 5-on-3 scoreline, not surprising to see, just because Monarch, again, man advantage, and it's really just not looking good for Insidious right now, especially since Theme Park is their map choice. And certainly they should be probably winning it, since they did win actually the map choice of Monarch. But I'm imagining that that map, the man disadvantage, is just really playing in huge for the side of Insidious.
Yeah, it's a shame as well, because King although he wasn't one of the standout frags of Insidious, he held his own, and more importantly, he was just another body. He's another 2 reinforcements or another 2 drone, someone else to watch flanks, and that's all lost.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to start into the round timer, and Monarch looking to push themselves to match point. Insidious looking to just stay in this game, honestly. I mean, they are still a map up, so it's not the worst if Insidious do lose this map, and they could probably bring their 5th back in if they have a sub available or a 5th player to resume for the last map. But honestly, Insidious is just looking to prolong this game right now, to try and win these rounds. This is their map, so they do probably have a lot of strats still in the back pocket, but you can see the side of Monarch going for a heavy east to west attack.
Yeah, and after last round, where they really struggled to maintain control of initiation, they've instead just decided to reinforce the wall and banded it off, rather than try to hold initiation itself and leaving that rotate open between the 2 rooms, that being bunks and initiation.
Yeah, so you see Monarch just trying a different attack. They've done the cafe attack a couple of times now, and they're opting for an east to west. They're changing things up, and even though it was working what they were doing, I do like the fact that they're changing things up, just so they can still stay in the minds of Insidious, still be doing new strats, to be testing things out during this match to push Insidious to their limit, to see where the boundaries are.
Yep, TVCX now he starts to get drained out, ironically, as the visual, but he will get caught by Raindrops. Raindrops, a fantastic shot onto Raider Arc, finding the head of the Valkyrie. Though he does take a few hit points of damage, he gets the frag off, and that was amazing. Don't know why I said amazing like that, but either way. Apple's now looking for the big onto Sophia, is not going to land it either. Red does take a few hit points of damage as flashes are coming in now. Nitro Cell comes out, but it doesn't matter because Apples will get the kill onto Skips, the Nitro Cell's intended recipient. And he's playing very aggressive now. He's expecting someone to be over there, and they are, but he's laid prone. Still holding the angles as Red, peeking, biding his time. There's more than a minute left, which is it's a lot of time. Aggressive push here from Kani. Doesn't have an ACOG, but he's got a powerful enough AR that it can get the job done. Flashes coming in through. Actually managed to blind Apples, but he rotates back into Cafe, but will lose the gunfight against Kani. Red now, he's on such low HP and all alone against 4 of the... And it will be Kani finishing off the round again with the Deagle. That's twice in a row.
Yeah, I mean, the 44 Magnum, it is a bit weird on the perspective, on the spectator cam, but, I mean, even with that scope, with the huge kick that gun does have, it doesn't matter. Bandit was on such low HP from the initial engagements going on, that it really didn't matter in the end, and that's Monarch on match point. It's looking like they're going to lock it out, and it's really down to this man disadvantage for Insidious. Like, the rounds they have won, they've been really dominating, and they've been really powerful. We've seen how powerful these players can be individually, and possibly having that fifth person on their map could have changed the scoreline and time. But I mean, we're looking at a third map right now.
Yeah, and I think it's coming down to those misplays, those small misplays. It's like an avalanche. I suppose it's like an avalanche or a snowball rolling down a hill. It's just smaller things that happen throughout the round, eventually build up and lead to a loss, like TVCX running across that doorway and getting picked off straight away. And although the Jaeger of Raider Arc is now on pulse, was able to pick up a few kills, he lost that gunfight against Kani, who was then able to go in and finish off Red. So it's those small little plays, I suppose big in the context of getting those kills, that really are leading to Monarch winning these rounds.
Usually in a map we see, a trade, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. It's not too bad, but in this, a 1-for-1 trade puts Insidious at 3 people, and that is just not enough to really do much, especially if a main side anchor dies, or if your Roma dies. It really puts Insidious in a really bad situation, considering there's still 4 players who can just sort of run around the map basically at that point, especially when Insidious loses that many people. So you got TVCX again doing an aggressive run out. They're really trying to find these picks, but I don't think anyone's spawning over teacup side. I don't think he's not gonna find anyone. But they really want these spawn picks because they know they need to even us out 4-on-4 at the start. Because without it, they're really severely disadvantaged. Oh, Apples could have got a headshot on one, but Monarch's being pretty cautious with these small picks. They're aware of what Insidious has been trying to do, and they're really into it very well.
Yeah, as we see there, Crix is joining out and finds the ping onto Raider Arc. Nitro Cell comes out onto the throne room, allowing him to make a quick escape through. We see Red is looking to get some sort of bandit trick off, but for the moment, he's just sat there. Apples as well is also playing by office. This is safe of any sort of a attack coming from that direction. Raider Arc spots one on the cardiac sensor, looks to pick him up now. Aggressive push through toilet, finds the head of Furry. That's the Sophia gone. Spraying through barrels will not find another. But a fantastic job there from Raider Arc to even it up so early in the round now. There's still the best part of 2 minutes left.
Yeah, the single roamer, and with the UMP picking up a frag onto Sphere, and he spotted the second one on Nomad. Oh, he could get a free kill right here. She's not moving. Oh, but she moves just in time. The timing doesn't come out for Raider Rock. And the Nomad just gets away and goes upstairs and picks up one onto Apples, who was just above him and knew exactly where he was, but it just didn't seem like he was aware or ready for that frag or for Nomad come running up the stairs. And now Raider's trying to get this pick. The air jabs are on the staircase, and Kani is completely aware of what's happening here, but the pulse actually picks up the kill on Kani. That is an insane shot from Raider. Still gets hit by the edge, but it doesn't matter because the Nomad is dead. Now to 3 vs 3s, even it out, but then finally Raider Rock is shut down by Raindrops. Now to 3 vs 2. 2 players on the side of Insidious. His man disadvantage, again, is just so impactful for the round. Even with Raider Rock picking up 2, it just doesn't matter because they're still a man down.
Yeah, TVCX still playing that wide roam, looking to catch anybody coming in through Cafe, but as it is, there is nobody over there. Red playing on that shield. Notices, I believe that's the IQ of Raindrops who's down there. Decides not to contest it. He only has an MP7. It's a great gun, but as with all SMGs, it does struggle a bit at range. With frag grenades being thrown in from skits now, Red is just holding the angle, waiting for the attackers to walk to him. And oh my god, he just misses him. Drones coming into initiation now. There's less than 20 seconds left. Spraying through is Red. Nitro Cell comes out, blows up, but will not find anybody. Aggressive push from Skits will result in a trade between the Bandit and the Maverick now. As Crixus goes for the plant, TVCX is trapped in bathroom. He has to push up and contest Raindrop. Free Fire will not land any shots now, and the diffuser goes down. TVCX is up against 2 members of the Monarch roster, and he's going to clutch it out to keep his team, or to win it for his team, and he won't. Crixus with the shot onto TVCX, and it will be Theme Park going the way of Monarch.
Yeah, with Theme Park going towards Monarch, which was an Insidious' map choice, it will bring us all the way to the 3rd map of this series, which will be Coastline, with Insidious starting on the attacking side. But I mean, just you can't get over the fact that the Manchester advantage from Insidious kind of pretty much lost them that match. You could tell that they had things lined up, and it is the choice. Theme Park was their choice, but you can't really act on your strats and your predetermined strategies and all that kind of stuff when you don't have your 4 or 5-man core available. But in saying that, before we do our 3rd map, we'll go to a short break and stick with us, and we'll be back soon. Hey everyone, and welcome back to AEC Main Stage Day 1. We are in our 2nd series of tonight, which is Monarch playing against Team Insidious. It's gone all the way to our 3rd map, which is Coastline between these 2 teams. Unfortunately, my friend Sam has had to drop out, and Nadu will be here to cast with me. But, I mean, what we've seen from both Monarch and Insidious so far is a really good back and forth. I mean, Insidious picked up Monarch's map of Border. Monarch picked up Insidious' map of Theme Park. So Coastline is really anyone's pick, and this map will decide who advances to the next stage of the... So
into the winners bracket, I'm pretty sure.
Into the winners bracket,
yeah.
And who will have to drop down to the lower bracket. So whoever wins this match will come up against 7th Heaven, who we saw earlier pretty dominantly win 7-1, 7-1 against Alt Edge.
Gonna be an interesting match. I mean, we're not seeing the same bans we always do. We're not seeing the Thatcher ban. We're seeing the Ying ban instead, which means kind of surprising. I mean, it is Coastline. You don't really need Thatcher as much as you do, or as you would use a Ying. But glad to see that there's finally a different ban. As I said, that Echo's ban. Never mind.
Yeah, in saying that, we have seen both Blackbeard and Ying before, and the Ying has been banned every single map we've had. Clearly, these teams don't want to play Ying, and one, they don't want to play Ying. One, they don't want to play against Ying, because she is so powerful and has so much utility to burn. It's insane. But Echo being banned is not surprising. I'm expecting a mirror, and it's a Valkyrie. That's huge. That leaves mirror in play, which opens up Penthouse. For the first time ever, we might see Penthouse.
I don't think we will. I genuinely don't think we will.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams don't practice it anymore because mirror gets banned so often.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like we're gonna see. No offense to Monarchs here, but I feel like we're going to see a 7-2 in favor of Insidious. Only because Insidious are getting the attack first. And this map is more lenient to attackers depending on where you go. I mean, the only real good sites are kind of Hookah and Kitchen. Apart from that, everything else is a little bit of a struggle. And even then, those 2 sites aren't as good as like a Villa.
Yeah, certainly this is one of the only maps that actually has a more attacker-sided lane, or at least an even more even lane, more 50-50. But we should see what Monarch can bring out here. Coastline is a map that has been in the pool for a long time, but we are still seeing teams bring something new to the table. And Coastline so often comes down to fragging ability, and honestly, these teams seem not too unevenly matched. I mean, you got Crixus, Carney, and Skits. So, I mean, I can honestly name all players on the side of Monarchs who've been fragging out. Certainly Raindrops has been going huge entry picks and roam game. And on the side of Insidious, got TVCX, Radar, who've been just so instrumental for their team. I mean, last map they had a man disadvantage, but that didn't stop players like Radar, players like TVX of just fragging out so heavily. I think TVX ended the map with almost 9 kills, and Radar was like close behind him, or in fact ahead of him. But it was just such a good frag-heavy gunfight team this too. But you can see Skittles going for a bullet spawn peek.
No, here we go.
This is, he could get one here. Oh, and it goes onto TVCX. Skits with a bullet spawn peek
Skits
through a
opening it up
barricade.
strong. Opening up this map strong, and they know they're not going to go down without a fight, because that's how you want to go. That's how you want to start off.
Yeah, I mean, this is giving vibes of Insidious back to theme park. Now playing 4 vs 5 on attack for the whole map. It's not looking great losing your Zofia that early on, especially TVCX, who's such a good entry fragger. He almost never loses his entry duels, and often gets refrags and gets refragged whenever he dies. So he's a really impactful player for Insidious, and now he's off the board. You can see King is opening up this pink wall. It's pretty default take, looks like, trying to push these players out of pink bar. And I imagine they're going for an aquatech, but a great shot onto Skits, his second round, and Ranger swallows it up.
What is happening?
They're just peeking up through the courtyard, and the doc is just healing Ranger's back up.
They're not even in the building yet. They're just on the roof and hadn't spawned, and they're all dead. Like, that's not how you want to start off a deciding map. Because
a minute gone,
you only
and
have
Monarch
one
has picked up
chance.
3.
You only have 2 chances to really make it into this competition. You lose your first map in the main stage, and you are trapped in that losers bracket, and a single loss will get you. But there you go. Apple's gonna get his Insidious' opening kill, and well, I would say it's winnable for Insidious if these two players know how to work and bounce off each other really, really well.
Yeah, certainly is. But I mean, a 2 vs 4, and with a Nitro in the hands of Furry, who's holding below. He definitely has the intel. But
C4
the drone did see him.
Go.
Nitro flies up, could connect, but no, it doesn't. Oh, a little voice crack. That was interesting.
Nice.
Trix is holding this nice bullet angle, so I think as soon as Capitao peeks out, he's going to get his head taken off by the SMG-11. One of the probably like a really good gun, even with a high recoil at this sort of range. Just one bullet will take out Capitao. But I mean, they're just smacking this castle barricade. Yeah. It's just a waiting game.
It's gonna be interesting to see if Apples does fully peek it. Like you see there, 2 players, Skits and Citrus, are peeking bullet holes, and actually, Citrus sees one. Not gonna connect though. Actually sees the second one. Not gonna actually do any damage as well. So both these players, I mean, they do have the fireballs. The fireballs aren't going behind the breach, and both smoke. That's interesting play from Citrus. I mean, gonna be chucking out both smokes pretty much instantly. So, but wait, hang on.
Oh, Chris went all the way down to second billiards, stopped the defuse, and then got I think almost killed, but Skits picked up Zofia at the very end. I mean, the smoke canisters weren't denying the plant, and so Smoke just takes on himself to push all the way down the side of billiards, take out the diffuser, and just toy with the Zofia until Skits can pick it up. But I mean,
where did he come from? I'm so.
I think just...
I'm genuinely confused. Like, I'm sitting back here. Oh, plant's going down. Okay, it's gonna get down. And next thing you know, a smoke appears out of nowhere, and bam, they're both dead. Like, I mean,
he just pushes straight through all the utility put on the side of Insidious, and just goes straight forward, denies defuse, which is milliseconds from being down. And then you go. There's Monarch going to win the first map off a spawn pick from Skits, and then a secondary pickup from Raindrops, and I mean, they just kept at 2 minutes. Insidious with 3 people down from basically spawn peaks and really aggressive angles held by Monarch, and it's working out for them. This aggressive playstyle was doing pretty well.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, they bring the Goyo. Did they bring the Goyo last round? I don't think they did. Did they? No, they brought Mozzie instead. I mean, the Mozzie didn't do an awful lot considering 3 players off a minute were pretty much taken out. And, I mean, the Goyo is important for keeping that service entrance, because if someone does decide to go in for a quick plant, or if they have the Monty, which they don't actually from Insidious, they can just blow a Goyo shield, waste a good 15 seconds, and in a matter of 10 seconds left, they can either win or lose a round.
I think, is Doc going for the same bullet spawn pick? Surely he's not going for it. No, he is. Oh, but he's opened the barricade this time, but he does have the window shutter, so it's gonna get a bit tight. Yeah, you can see
the drone.
He's checking, he knows what's happening. Yeah, he sees the angle. I think Doc is now stuck there.
It's
still picking. Oh, great shot by TBX. I don't know why Skittles. Also,
Why did
Skittles
he-
is still repeating that,
Why did
but
he make it?
UBC accidentally capitalizes on a bit of over-aggression from Skits and takes his head off. Clean off with the Zofia M762, and there you go, man. Disadvantage for Monarch this time. You know, maybe they're swapping sides. You know, Insidious is so sick of playing 4v5 that they want Monarch to have a try.
True. I'm gonna be interested to see what King is gonna be able to do, considering he has had a map of pretty much being on the bench, I would say. I mean, he did DC and it seemed did decide to play without him for a map. Oh, and there you go. King is taken off the board with a very nice C4 from Citrus. Very unlucky.
Hey, and that's your buck dead too. And Raindrop just turns away at the wrong time and gets picked up by Raiderock. Another great frag from him. He's been so influential. Could get another here. Yeah, that's a great kill from Apples. Can't confirm it onto Fairy just yet. It's just around the corner. There's no refrag potential. Yeah, the catcher's in the way, but you're kind of on site, and Crixus, who's kind of stuck in courtyard. As soon as they draw him out, they're going to see him. But Apples is unaware. Crixus could get a nice shot, but I don't think he can. I'm actually not sure about to see him.
I'm very interested about that fireball and why it went onto the Goyo shield. That must have been a mistake, right? Because you don't firebolt a Goyo shield.
You see, interesting. Yeah, pulled back to site. He was in courtyard. Yeah, Kai's not choosing not to. Oh, he's about to say not to shoot the Goyo shield, but now he is. He's popped it. And 2 players on that minute left. Cardi picks up Apples, a great frag from Kazel. UMP not the best gun, but it lands headshots, or can land headshots, and they are instant kills on all players. Diffuses down, there's vertical questions coming out. Raiderock picks up Crixus, down to 1 vs 3 for Carney. He has to take 3 high HP players on. By himself, only about 70 HP. UMP doesn't do a high amount of damage. He's actually taking more bullets into his body. Castle's not a heavily armored player, and Raiderock confirms it, picking up Carney. There you go, and so he just picks up round 2.
There you go. I was about to say that he did have the defuse and he could play it safe by maybe retreating into pink or blue bar and wait for them to come pick up the diffuser or go for a pinch, which he could take a gunfight one-on-one and win. But no, the Abana does push up into kitchen and confirms a kill. So they've been very quick rounds, I'll say that. Very, very quick rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of started when Skits did that spawn pick, got a bit over-aggressive, and TVCX capitalized on that, and it just was like sort of a downhill snowball from for Monarch after that. You know, that Jaeger getting so unlucky, he couldn't get the timing to hit the shot onto the first player in Billiards, and he gets picked up by Raiderock, who's been so influential throughout this entire series. Even playing opposite like Habana, where they're more supportive, he's still so good with his flicks, with his spray control. He's bound to land shots constantly, over and over again, being one of the most consistent fraggers on the side of Insidious. It's really good to see.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I mean, it's impressive to be able to see that kind of skill and positioning from a player of that kind of strength. But I think we should move on the round now and stop fanboying. But move on with Skits and Citrus on the Wamai, or how do you like to say it?
Oh, I don't say that. I say Wamai Jaeger. You
Oh,
could say
it's
Wager.
Tom. Yeah, it's Tom
Yeah,
actually does that.
Wager.
Yeah, the Wager combo.
Is
yeah.
the Mozzie mute combo just called mute? Because Mozzie stops the name too.
I mean, you could call it... Actually, I don't
You
know.
can call it mute or you can call it Mozzie. There you go. That's
I mean,
great.
I feel like there should be like a pet name for that. Like there should be a Musey, like a Musey combo.
Maybe, but you see again, Monarch opting for Kitchen. Not surprising, one of the stronger sites. It's certainly probably the better choice than Penthouse, even though Mirror is in play. But teams just don't practice Penthouse anymore because Mirror is so often banned. But they're opting not for the Goyo this time, opting for that Mozzie, trying to maybe deny some of the drones on the side of Insidious. But we should be getting straight into it. No players on Monarch taking the first floor. They're holding sort of a donut shape around the map on the first floor. Castle putting his barricades down, blocking up any annoying entrances to site. But you see Red taking out one of those castles already, and he's pulling back. I don't think he's going to push that kitchen window. Not really much point. It's very unlikely you get a frag off kitchen window, considering most people don't peek it because it's not the smartest idea.
Very true.
Yeah,
I'm
Red-
kind of interested that there's no top floor like Penthouse or even theater presence coming out from Monarch. I mean, they do have a very split map take, like 2 inside of the bars and then 2 inside of site, with 1 playing inside of luggage. Which I guess it's good to really get a feel for where Insidious is going to attack from, and that way you can put manpower to wherever you feel like the attack's going to come from. But interested
In
to
the
see there's
meantime,
no presence
Apples-
up top.
Apple takes the head of Furry. There you go. There's your Mozzie down holding blue bar. Right, with the ACOG, he definitely has the advantage in this fight, and certainly with that castle barricade on that Sunrise double door, it means that players can't quick peek out and actually get a free kill. Not a free kill, but I'm saying quick peek out. There's Skits with a great headshot onto Apples. Clean taking off that Capitão's head, and now in a 4-on-4. I mean, Skits with just a fantastic swing and a fantastic shot. The vertical pressure's coming down from Insidious onto site, but I mean, the defense from Monarch is holding strong right. Yeah, holding even stronger.
No.
Raindrops picks up one onto Red, now to 4 vs 3. Crixus picks up one onto TVCX, down to 4 vs 2. It's just player's kid going down, and Crixus picks up his second of the rank onto King. Is now Raider Arc, left in a 1 vs 4. He definitely has the skill to take these gunfights and to win this situation, but with the fuse down upstairs, he knows exactly where this will Myers. But doesn't connect the shots. Crixus could get a kill here. Going back and forth and finished off by Carney through the wall. That's a lockout from Monarch with some fantastic fragging from these Sunrise players.
Yeah, I know I was very critical about that no top floor presence, but I mean, it worked in the end. Those frags just coming alive as there was a player, like when they got onto that first floor, there was a player every single angle that Insidious went. Like, there was no cover at all, and they really had no chance of escaping because they couldn't isolate where one person was, because there was always one person ready to come and do a refrag pretty much immediately.
I mean, Skids with that swing out, so perfect. He perfectly lined that up and swung exactly onto the head of Capitão, just clean, making it a 4v4. That's really helps the side of Monarch. They need to keep this refragging going. They can't let Insidious get kills because it will snowball into more and more and more until you get a round win. But they're keeping it close, and you can see how close it is. It's only 1 round up for Monarch at a 2-1 score line going to our 4th round.
So I'll tell you what, are we seeing? Oh no, I thought we were going to see Penthouse because I saw the mirror. I got very, very worried that Monarch were going to throw a round away, but nope. Thank God, we're going to go to the bars, and I feel like Monarch are going to take this because they have the mirror available.
Oh, the mirror is so powerful in double bar. I mean, you probably see her chuck it down right on that wall in between sites, and yeah, with both sides which she can open, she can basically just fully hold down blue with no with ease, basically, and no one can contest that, really. But if Insidious choose to go upstairs, which I imagine they will, they probably have to take down Aqua, take into Hooker as well. They have to probably push out that mirror position. And yeah, you can definitely see the side of Monarch, who are realizing that, yes, the upstairs is pretty exposed if they don't have any... the mirror is pretty exposed, they don't have any upstairs control, and you see Carney up there putting those cast barricades down, and you have Wamai on... Furry, who was playing Wamai there to support him. So it's gonna be a split hold.
I'm gonna quickly ask. Why is there no reinforcement on Hookah Hatch? That's my biggest question. Because you have the mirror playing behind in Sunrise Bar. Usually you would have that reinforced. That way you can't just get really, really nice angles and pretty much turn the mirror against you.
I imagine it could be opened just because in case one of the top floor players have to rotate down. And regardless if the hatch is reinforced or not, they can open up the soft floor next to it, so it really kind of nullifies the fact that the hatch is open. But oh, there's a Casa barricade smashed open by Zofia. Now these upstairs players are pulling back a little bit. They can't get as aggressive. TDC actually going for these entries. Some shots ringing out, but the UMP through a wall does not do very much damage. And we should just see this early engagement. In the meantime, Chingas picks up one into Canny. There you go. There's one of the upstairs players gone. Now it's just Wamai left. Basically in a 1 vs 4 with all these players on the side of Insidious pushing him. He's got a teammate pushing up to help, but he's stunned. He can't do anything. You got a smoke holding cool vibes. Could have picked up by TV6, but doesn't land the shot onto the head.
Very, very close.
Of Raindrops. He was super close though, but now they full upstairs control. And there's actually a player in blue bar. If they get the droning down, that's pretty much a free kill as that player is stuck in that position. He can't move back very much. But in the meantime, Skits picks up one onto Raider. There you go. Another great frag from Skits, who's been so influential this match.
Yeah, there you go. The Zofia son is going to give away the position, but never mind. The Smoke's going to win that gunfight somehow. I'm very, very confused on how he won that. I mean, he did have the shotgun, but King is just going to take a ton of damage by walking to the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, you also have another kill picked up onto the side of another frag, sorry, for the side of Monarch, as now it's a 3 vs 2. And this mirror emplacement is still up. I mean, the sledge is above. He can open up above this this mirror, but it's still such a powerful angle. And look at this. Skits is so far into blue bar. I mean, he should be able to get shot. His legs are exposed, but the drones just aren't there. If Nomad stands up, but no. He's swinging into it. Oh, Red takes the head off Skits as he swings into his crosshair. But this mirror is actually gone down. Oh, almost gets the headshot onto Chris. But now it's a 2 versus 2. Low HP on King. It's only about a 50 health. But
Mira's gonna
just
come.
swung into courtyard. He can deny plant, but he's unsure. But no, he definitely knows the plant is coming. Swings
There you
out,
go.
takes the diffuser down. Red's down on the ground. Now left in a 1 versus 2 situation. It's not looking great for King as these smoke canisters can just delay him for so long. Especially with Crixus holding this angle in courtyard. It's not looking great for him so far. About to come. He's actually picking up his teammate. Hopefully, I think we're going to stick it. Teammate sticking it. Crixus picks up one. Could get the second. Shot swinging out. Going back and forth, but finally confirmed by Raindrops pushing forward with that M95 shotgun and confirming it for Monarch. That's their 3rd round, and it's looking really good for the side of Monarch right now.
I mean, it really, really is. Like, considering how 50-50 this map is, and sometimes even 60-40 to the attackers, and the defense of Monarch, I wouldn't say tearing through them, but in complete control throughout these entire defenses so far.
Yeah, they're looking very comfortable. They're not looking like they're strained. They're not looking like they're being pushed out of these positions too early on. And honestly, I mean, Monarch's playing a style of Siege they like to play. They're forcing Insidious to play how they like to play. They're making them push down these angles. They're making them sort of delay time to the point where they have like 2 players left having to force the plant. And basically, Crixus can do whatever he wants. Swings into courtyard, picks up the last 2. Like Monarch looks really comfortable right now, and that's what it comes down to. Insidious look like they're out of their comfort zone with these attacking rounds, and I think certainly for that round, having Mirror unbanned completely changes that. I certainly think a Mirror ban over a Valkyrie ban, I'd probably take the Mirror ban.
Yeah, I mean, Valkyrie is really good, especially with all the trees and stuff on the side of Coastline. But yeah, you did see there with the Mirror how powerful she is inside of Blue Bar. But the setup gonna come up inside of Hookah now. Nothing really different apart from maybe the Mozzie playing downstairs inside of the bars. So maybe to deny TVCX from below, or maybe in the IQ, because when you get that plant down, they can just chill below, wait for the defuse to come out, and pretty much win the round. So that's why I'm guessing that the Mozzie's gonna be playing down there to stop that from happening.
I imagine so. They're going back to Hooker and Billows, which they've won before, and it's probably the strongest site for the attackers on Consulate, on Coastline. There you go, 3rd time's the charm. Oh, a small peek from Skits,
No,
but
comes back
gets
fired.
traded. He doesn't even get a kill, sorry. He gets taken down. King is with the entry frag. Onto Skits. He got very aggressive on that spawn pick, almost took the head off Red, but no. Sledge was already on that rappel and just took Skits down. Now in a 4 versus 5. Monarch with that man disadvantage is going to come in huge. Look again, this side of Monarch, they are so aggressive onto this courtyard position. They really like to get these picks, and they know that sort of player sit around this idly. That actually, if he swings around, he could get one maybe. No, Nomad's holding a bit further back. But yeah, you got Ferry below. He's just holding off any attackers, any presence below. Certainly, it's very powerful. They do get these sort of positions early on. But if IQ comes up this balcony, she could see Carney, but no, Carney moves away just in time. So I think the ACOG would have won that fight if Raider Arc was looking at the right direction, which I don't think he probably was, but look at risking it. Sledge dropping down onto Hooker Bow. So dropping down onto Courtyard Balcony. And now that looks like going for an aqua push, and certainly with Smoke holding that...
That's a very early smoke.
It is a very early Smoke, but he's just delaying Khan a little bit.
I'm not sure about that. Like, there's no real pressure. I mean, there's 4 players there, actually. But nobody has really pushed up. I mean, the drones were still coming out to try to gather that information, so that smoke was... Oh no, C4 gonna come out. It's not gonna connect with anyone at all. It's gonna do a ton of damage to all 3 players though. So very unlucky there from Fury not to get any kills.
Yeah, in the meantime, Raiderox picked up Raindrops. There's one of you has just smoked down again, who's so powerful on this site, especially following that pink bar down. But TVX holding a nice angle. It's completely smoked off. I think Carl's about to stick the plant. Yep, TVX covering. He's got a couple of teammates covering, as well as Raiderox on this Hooker back. It looks like they can't do much. Smoke's pushing through, so it's Mute pushing... I have no idea push through. It's Cricket pushing
round.
through.
Oh my god, that was...
Flawless round for Insidious. They locked out
quick.
all those defenders. And Insidious is looking to turn this around. They've had enough of playing Monarch's game, and they're playing their own game now.
True. I was actually going to say the previous round, this was giving me very strong Altered Edge unrefined kind of vibes. Like, they went to their 3rd map on Coastline, and out of everyone we didn't expect, Unrefined beat them in overtime. And it was because they were playing super aggressive. And honestly, I feel like Monarchs have taken a page out of Unrefined's book and saying, hey, we can also beat top teams if we just play super aggressive, and just don't let them expect anything, and always be unpredictable.
What we saw from Insidious there was a more aggressive take. They didn't bother to clear out penthouse or theater or VIP or below. They just went, hey, we're going to just push Aqua, and they did. They 4-man pushed Aqua, and it won for them. I think Insidious realized that they might have a mechanical skill advantage, certainly with Pika's advantage, mixed with how really good at fragging Raider and TVCX are. They're just pushing these gunfights, forcing Monarch to have to use their weapons instead of the utility, and they're winning out in those engagements.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, we're gonna see the same setup again. Nothing really all that different. I feel like they maybe should reinforce that other walkway inside of Aquarium, because as we've seen time and time again, TVCX has been using that to its advantage and getting rid of the smoke or even the lesion that's been playing. Like, there you go on your screen now. Like, TVCX has just been using that to get rid of the smoke that's playing those bullet holes in Hookah. So I feel like they should maybe pick up on that and get rid of that angle so they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you're very playing the pulse instead. Could go for an early pick maybe. If he checks his scan, he might see a couple of players outside, but I think this guy might go for a similar push onto Aqua. It worked out pretty well for them. With a flawless round, it worked out really well for them, so it's not like they're going to change much if they want to try the same thing. And yeah, you can see the attackers are massing over this Aqua backside. And it looks like they're going for a very similar attack. Look at this again from Monarch. Every single time they have players peeking this courtyard, they really want to take these engagements. And I mean, it worked out for them in the first round, so I don't see why not. And they haven't really been punished for it as of yet. So it's just really, I mean, a waiting game until Insidious try to do something.
Yeah, very true. Oh my god. Super aggressive there. There is 3 players inside of luggage/aquarium right now. And with the sound of that, it sounds like maybe the pulse should be dead considering an air jab went off.
But I mean, Raindrops
sure.
picks up red. And look, if Kingers comes up these white stairs, there's Jaeger there right on those punch holes waiting for him. It's a nice angle from Skits. I think he did shoot a little bit at Kingers earlier, but he's more concerned about these players below.
Yeah, you got
Nair's
the
gonna
pulse
fly
below.
in, but TVCX picks up Carney. Throws looking for a refight, but he doesn't find it. Raider picks up Furry. Now to 4 vs 3. That's 2 quick frags for the side of Insidious, and a really bad situation. Now IQ's actually below. He's shooting Pulse right in the legs with that IQ scanner. The mark's coming out. Jaeger's found Kingers, and they're in a little gunfight right now. That default cam spotting Kingers out, but over there doesn't really do much. It means there's only 2 players on site for Monarch. And I mean, this looks like an Insidious round right now with a player advantage as well as this Jaeger, who, I mean, Kingers is just ignored. He's stuck over this VIP side. What's he gonna do? He has to shoot through the wall possibly, but doesn't connect. Oh, he's so close. But Kingers just holding a little off angle. Again, look, TVCX holding this prone angle. And they're planting again. There's literally no difference. No difference. Crix is putting that smoke down.
There you go.
Pushes it out.
There's the angle that I talked
Fragged by
about.
TVCX.
That's the angle that I talked about before, and Monarch still didn't pick up on it.
Yeah, but now in a post-line situation, 2v4, I mean, Ranger deep inside, he can just see the players. Yeah, Ranger with his back turned. Now it's just Jaeger, who by their own castle barricades is stuck over at VIP. I mean, this is just Insidious now trying to pad their stats, do whatever they want to get this final kill. It doesn't really matter. It's like the time is still winding down. Jaeger's right next to Raider. It all comes down to who can get the final frag, pad their stats, and it's Raider. They finish out on Skits, and there's a 3-3 half. That is your classic Coastline half, is a 3-3.
Very true. I'm going to pick up on again, but Monarch, please reinforce that wall in Billiards/Aquarium. You just saw there that TVCX did the exact same thing to you 2 times in a row. Like, the smoke possibly could have denied that plant because he had an angle to where default plant is, but got denied because there's just a Sophia just sitting there waiting to collect you. But anyways, we're going to move to the second half of this map now.
Yeah, we got half swap, and you have Insidious now on the defense. That 3-3 really comes down to these 4 rounds. For either, or it comes down to these 4 rounds. Who can win the next 4 rounds? Because it is first to 7. It might come to overtime though. That would bring us to a first to 8. But we should see something different. I've seen Insidious defend Coastline before, and they've defended so well. They bring you the castle, and I'm not. They're going penthouse.
What?
With castle and no mirror.
I'm
This is huge.
There's no mirror. I feel like we've seen this step. Oh, this strat before. I genuinely feel like I've seen this before somewhere. I don't remember
I've seen
where.
a couple of Pro League teams use this sort of strategy when they're trying to go for a extended hold
Honestly,
in
I
towards
feel like
VIP.
I've seen TSM do this before.
Yeah, certainly teams have tried
yeah.
this strat in competitive gameplay, but it's really not done. And it has success. It is certainly a new strat, and teams that aren't as good as adapting can get caught up on it. Sorry, but we should see how Insidious plays it. I mean, the fragging ability for both these teams combined with a very frag-heavy map. This could come down to just a 5-on-5 gunfight. And look at this, King is going for an aggressive spawn pick. I think they've been spawn picked one too many times. They've had enough of it. They try and find an early frag, but I'm not sure they're going to find anything. I'm pretty sure Monarch is well aware of their intentions, and yeah, you can see him prepare. Oh, Crixus!
He's in
nice shot, but no! One bullet hits each other, but yeah, TVX pulls back. He's not going to win the gunfight, but in the meantime, Skips picks up one into Radar. Now to 5 versus 3. The defense is falling apart from Insidious.
It's not even a minute in, and 2 players down. This defense is looking, no offense to them, but shocking. Oh my god.
I mean, I think the defense right now is fine. It's just they got really aggressive on these spawn picks and they couldn't pick them up. And certainly if TVCX got caught in that initial gunfight with Crixus, he could have put the team in an even worse situation. But right now, it's not looking too bad. Oh, TVX can pick up one hit and shot onto Carney. Evening out the odds now to 4 versus 3. He's gonna probably run out. Maybe try to get some players on the back. The drone spots apples. Maybe TVCX on the run out picks up one onto Furry.
One drops.
Now in a 3 versus 3. Yeah, one does drop into.
No.
One does drop into bathroom. Crixus, whose second kill of the round, picks up apples. Not looking great. It's a 3 versus 2. They're pretty much locked out of their own site with these castle barricades and certainly the sight lines established. Yeah, they're having to break them, and yeah, that's TVCX trying to get back into VIP.
Very true. Plans gonna come down now.
Yeah, Crix is putting that plant down. TVX can't land the shot, but he finally confirms it. Knows there's probably one in bathroom with those punch holes that they definitely didn't open, but TVX has got to watch his back. A minute left on the timer. There's a lot of stuff he can do, but shots ring out, doesn't connect onto Zofia. She's prone just this angle with.
They're so close to each other.
Next to each other. Oh, TVX!
Oh my god! There you go. TVCX looking for the ace.
Kill his quad. Yeah, he's really looking for the ace right now. You got Raindrops pushing at red. So pushing onto red, holding his position. Red's got the shotgun out. He pretty much can one hit the IQ at this range. But TVX being so impactful. IQ runs in. Oh, frags onto Raindrop now. Looking for the ace. It's TVCX in a 1 versus 1 situation. Diffuses in his hand right next to him. On the side, IQ, but lands a shot as ace from TVCX. Coming in huge from a 2-man disadvantage. Pulls it all the way back. TVCX just shows how much fragging capability he has.
Incredible clutch there. And ace by TVCX. But I'm going to say, if it wasn't for TVC there, I feel like that round was 100% in Monarch's hands. Only because that site play, because there's a player pretty much always on big window, like you would. Actually, when I see the Monty coming out from Raindrops, but because there's always someone on big window, I honestly feel like if you have VIP wall open, then that player can get such a long angle, and if you're playing a guitar or around that VIP couch, then you're pretty much good as dead as long as there's someone holding that window. But
yeah, definitely, it's a really powerful position to hold, especially when you open it up to give them a long angle. But you can see now Insidious opting for a all regular site. They're going to hooker and billiards. We've hit normal C. That is a red dot, which is less normal, but I don't know. Can't really talk much about individual operator site selections because it's to each their own. But hopefully we see something from Monarch here. I mean, early on that round, certainly Insidious got over-aggressive. They got Crixus with that initial pick, and then TVCX for challenging for some reason. It's just a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, to be fair to TVX, the aggression kind of worked in areas like the run out into hookah onto VIP balcony, as some people like to call it. I mean, he got a kill there, so the aggression paid off for him, just not for a couple of his teammates like Kingers and Apples, I want to say, that died early.
Yeah, certainly what the pendulum of this game is, swinging back and forth. These teams have literally gone round for round. I think the most we've had is a 2-round advantage, then it was already brought back to a 1-round advantage. So these
Yeah.
teams are really close together, and on Coastline, they look evenly matched.
Very true. This is the map that will reward you for getting those frags. And, I mean, if you're getting those frags, then... Thank you, Snook, for showing us the scoreboard. But if you're going to get those frags, then you're going to win the map. Oh, no.
Oh, Kings is caught out by raindrops. A great shot from IQ, taking down the roaming Vigil. Now in a 5 vs 4 situation. The frags are so important on this map. More than most, but look at this. TVCX is right where his teammate died. He's holding in main lobby. The drone just misses him. If they're unaware, he could pick up another kill here, but I think IQ now has his back turned. And TVCX refrags onto range. A little late, but it's still a frag nonetheless. Now to 4 vs 4, evening out the odds. 2 minutes left, and I mean, IQ dead and King is IQ dead and Vigil dead. Sorry, Raindrops and King is respectively. It's honestly, it's looking like it's a more defender-sided outcome with the Vigil dead.
Very true. I'm interested to see on where Monarch are going to push. It looks like they're going for an aquarium, but okay. All right.
Which is getting aggressive, pushing Pink Bard, gets one onto Smoke.
Allowed to
There
do
goes
that.
Red. He's holding close on this angle, but finally gets shut down by Apples. He shouldn't be allowed to just walk all the way in, but it has allowed his teammates to push in behind him. But no, they're just waiting at Aqua. I think they realize probably pushing all the way into site isn't the smartest idea. You have the plant coming down. You see the Maestro holding a nice little prone angle, but gets a headshot onto Skits somehow. Radok, a great shot. TVCX picks a second of the round onto Furry. Now 1 HP. In Carney, got a 1v3 clutch. He does have a low HP TVCX, but 2 full HP defenders on Apples and Raider Rock. Let's get this first one. Oh, and a nice shot by Carney onto TVCX. He's got 2 left. It's Raider Rock and Apples. Raider Rock's trying to be one of the best fraggers on the side of Monarch, the side of Insidious, sorry.
He also has
yeah.
a drone. I mean, that drone could play into his favor. He does have 40 seconds. Still enough time to drone out Raider Rock or even Apples and find out where they're playing. Because if they're playing behind a soft wall, he can go for a pre-fire. Maybe into Hookah, maybe into Billers. And as you see there, it looks like Apples is playing on top of the couch, actually.
Oh, and
what
a
a
great
shot.
shot through the pink wall onto Carney. That closes out for Insidious. A fantastic round for them. I mean, the aggression from Crixel, I mean, it could have paid off massively if he got a second frag maybe and didn't get traded 1-for-1. But taking out the smoke just wasn't enough.
True. And I'm going to point something out from in chat. Dilemma. Nice rush without getting a default cam. I mean, that could have been where it went wrong. Not getting rid of the default cam and a dead man just realizing, guys, they're rushing Billiards and Aquarium. Oh, thanks, forgot you. So that could have been where it went wrong there for Monarch.
Raider Rock is considering a 6 pick, but he might just stick on the Maestro. He has been performing. No, he's swapping onto the Mozzie. Actually, completely switching roles pretty much, going into a more flat frag / flex position. But they are taking onto the double bar. Blue and Sunrise. Not bringing a mirror as Monarch did. I assume they don't have a mirror shot set up, considering mirror is so often banned on this map. But they're looking for more of a default strategy, opening up this this blue wall. It's not surprising to see, and hopefully we see Monarch have a better attack round this time. And not to say that attack rounds haven't been good, they just have been a little bit behind the speed and pace that Insidious is setting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. It looks like they're going to be setting up for a kitchen hold as well as 2 bars, which you do commonly do. I'm honestly, personally, I really just want to see a security / what's it called? Reception kind of hold. Like, I'm not sure if it would work because, like, I'm not an actual coach or anything, but I'm interested to see if it would, you know?
In the meantime, Skits has left the lobby. It is really unfortunate for the side of Monarch, which puts them at a 4v5 attack, and a rehost is called. And then the admins will decide what's going to happen. It's going to be an after the round call, so we will rehost after the round.
It will be a rehost. I mean, Hound. So just an admin decision coming in, but I think it looks like the teams might be playing out the round possibly, but we'll see in just a second.
Yeah, I think it looks like they can play the round. They're already at 2 minutes now. They're pretty deep into this round.
Yeah.
But unluckily from the side of Monarch, I think Skits was there a hard breach, and Crixus picks up Kingers, so it's not too bad. It's evened out 4 versus 4. There's your dock going down. No stims used, so it's a pretty early frag. And I think Sophia's pushing all the way into main lobby. They're trying to pinch this control, and they're doing a pretty fast job of it. Oh, she just sees the back of one. Could get Mozzie, and yes, caught out. Furry picks up his first kill for the map, finally on the scoreboard, by a really influential pick onto Radar. Now in a 4 vs 3 situation, even with the man disadvantage early on from Monarch, it's really good, and Crixus picks up apples. Now to 3 vs 2. Raindrops does go down, but I mean, that man disadvantage with Skits dropping out has been evened out now to 3 vs 2 with the man advantage for the side of Monarch. TVCX picks up Furry. Now you got a 2 vs 2 situation. TVCX picking up his 13th kill. He's been so influential and so good on his guns right now. He is really popping off this game and putting Insidious like forward by 2 rounds. And Kenny picks up Red. There you go. TVCX now left in a 1v2 situation. We've seen how good he is in his 1vx's. But they know exactly where he's coming from. He could get a frag here. Sees one of the defusers going down. Downs Crixus. Now in a 1 vs 2 situation. What can he do? We've seen how good TVCX is in the past. We've seen him win these before. The spots are coming out. These red marks are going down. Confirms his kill to Crixus. Sees the second. It kills Carney on very low HP. Now full HP TVCX on about 40 HP Carney. This is such a close gunfight. With 20 seconds left, Carney stuck at this blue door. TVCX has to land just 2 bullets left. Carney's pushed in. He's holding a passive angle. Sees the head. Doesn't land the shot. TVCX is getting closer and closer. They're closing out this round and putting Insidious to match point. Here's the run. He's going to get the kill. And yes, he confirms it onto Carney. TVCX with another 1v2 clutch has been one of the most influential players of this entire map and this entire series. And we're about to rehost. So one of the Monarch players can come back in.
Yeah, fantastic round there by TVCX. But we are going to go to a rehost. We'll be back in around a couple of minutes. But anyways, chat, don't go anywhere. Get yourself a drink, get yourself some snacks. This map is nearly over. We'll be right back.
Out of the shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, 'cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you a mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, 'cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legends spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the AEC main stage, day 1, second match of the evening. It is Monarch versus Insidious on the third map of their series. It is Coastline with a 5-3 scoreline. So the last round you saw will be rehosted, and we'll have to redo the round via an admin decision.
That was via an admin decision, as the rehost was called a little bit too early into the action phase or whatever it was. Anyways, we'll move on from that. Let's get back into the round and let's see if Insidious can repeat and put themselves back onto match point.
Yeah, hopefully you'd see Insidious do it. I mean, there's a pretty long break just then, and maybe the teams had a chance to reset their mindsets. And certainly, Insidious is coming off a round loss, basically, or a round win, if you count the miscounted round. So you know, hope maybe the momentum's reset for both teams, and we should see some fresh siege here as we load in. Server's taking a little bit longer than usual, but that's Ubisoft for you. And going to Blue Bar Sunrise, the same ops, same everything. It's a rehosted round, so we should see. You know, it could be something similar. It could be something completely different.
Yeah, I'm interested. Maybe because of that round, Monarch decided to attack it a little bit differently than what they saw from Insidious. I mean, we're going to see the Wamai brought out again, and who was it? TVCX, who did clutch it out that last round. See if he's able to replicate, but I mean, in all of our eyes, he still clutched it, but too bad. In the round's eyes, it never existed. But anyways, let's move on. Let's see if they go for the exact same setup, if they do something a little bit different, or maybe something completely different. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this round, actually, because it is Insidious's round just before they hit match point. And Monarch really wants to stop Insidious getting there. We're only 2 rounds behind, which isn't too hard to pick up on Coastline, especially on the attack. And I'm just looking forward to seeing these two teams, which are so frag heavy. We seem to both have players who are just insane and have the ability to frag out and have really good individual plays. I'm really looking forward to see them just go up against each other head to head.
Very true. And I'm going to say, a spawn pick actually coming out from TVCX. He's not letting this round go down quietly. He might actually get Carney, I want to say? Is out there?
Oh, it's close. I think it was Furry, but he just gets spotted out a bit and gets Doc stimmed, which is a power of Doc. He is not dying as early on this round as he did the last.
Very true.
But I mean, yeah, if you look at Monarch, they're just taking it a bit slower. Oh, but that's a down. There goes King. But it is Doc so can stim himself back up. Furry's trying to put the impacts in to finish off the kill, but he won't be able to. That's really unfortunate from Furry. He really had to confirm the kill. On any other operator, probably would have been alright, but no, it's a Doc. But in the meantime, there goes Furry.
Turned around on him down from Fury or Furry, sorry, onto Kingers to Kingers pick himself back up, and then putting Furry down. Oh my.
Yeah, the revenge coming out. You down me and now I kill you. There goes Zofia has off the board. Man advantage side of Insidious. It looks like Kingers is looking for another aggressive picky. Buck opens this up for him. If he could swing out right now and take this Buck. If he's unaware, I think that's the default pull cam still up. But Buck has pulled off. Kings is rushing out. He does see him, but he's just not looking at the right position. I'm pretty sure some of those external cams are still up. And that's really not great for Monarch if they are.
100%. I mean, Insidious are playing super aggressive right now, especially Kingers and TVCX. I mean, TVCX has calmed down a tad from that spawn peak at the start, but there you go, actually. He's going to take a little bit of damage. Flash going to come out, looks like not going to do anything apart from TVCX. Just to back off and back down those stairs. But Kingers is still playing super aggressive than what we're used to seeing him do.
Slowly but surely, Monarch taking this control, but TVCX and Skittles exchange some health, and then they're both a little bit lower for, but Radar picks up Carney. Now with a 2-man advantage, looking better and better for Insidious. This is their match point game, and Crucius picks up one onto Kingers. There goes your Doc. Now TVCX doesn't have a chance of getting stimmed. The 4 versus 3, it's still looking like it's Insidious's round, just based on the numbers, but you never know what happens on Coastline. It is still one of the most attacker-sided maps, and Raindrops picks up Radar 3-3, evening out the odds. Oh, and Skits picks up Red, great frag. Oh, but Buck has completely unaware. Crucius goes down. Apples with a great angle, could get a second hit.
Apples, you're insane.
Apples, TVCX picks up the last one for Raindrop. That's fantastic fragging from Insidious, and it closes out the round with a nice 2k from Apples, followed by TVCX picking up the mark.
That's some great frags from Apples and TVCX to finish off that round and put Insidious back on match point. I mean, it's not very often that you just kill a buck, turn around, and then manage to kill an Ash from all the way down that hallway. Very, very impressive, and I mean,
on the
there
side
you
of
go.
Insidious, we highlight Radar, we highlight TVCX as their main fraggers and the ones that really do the bulk of the killing on this team. But you just look at Apples and Kingers and Red, certainly Apples that round, they can all step up and they can easily do it. You just saw then Apples did an amazing little 2k then. Picks one onto Buck, swings around to Cool Vibe stairs, takes the head right off Skits, and that was it. That was, now it's Insidious on match point, 3-6. It's really
yeah.
not looking great for Monarch.
I mean, we could see a repeat of Border, maybe the first match in this series where what was it, a 7-2, and then Monarch wins 2 rounds in a row, and it looks like it might head to overtime, but Insidious close it out. But this time, Monarch have a little bit more favor to start off with, so they could push it to overtime, as they're only 3 rounds away. And knowing Monarch against Skyfire, what was it, the other week, they're very capable and very able to pull off a comeback, especially on Coastline, where they almost actually beat Skyfire last week.
Yeah, certainly Monarch does have the ability to bring these rounds back, and you can tell why they're in the top 8. They have shown that match and match again, that they have the ability to stay in this top 8 and stay competitive. But look at this, another run up from King is he's trying to find someone getting an early advantage, but don't get themselves that easy. He's being so patient. He's checking over. Oh, can get one and does confirm. There's your opening pick. A run out from King is, and that skit's gone. There's your Ash. Getting hurt. So a bit of over-aggression. You can see the side. Oh, the Apples takes out Carney now with a 2-man advantage. Oh, sorry, a 1-man advantage because King is down. But there's only 3 people left on the side of Mon. Consider trying to go for a top-down take, and
nice.
TVCX could get another one. Oh! Get a third. It does get a third. That's an amazing bragging from TVCX. Now Raindrops left in a 1 vs 4 situation. I mean, Crucius is already putting GGs in chat. In a 1 vs 4, it's not looking great. TVCX just needs to land a couple of shots onto Rain. He can get as aggressive as he likes. He's got 3 full HP teammates left on the board. Rain's outside this bag. A run out from Alibi puts Rain even lower on HP. TVCX is right here. Rain's pushing up. He just has to land 1 bullet and it will close out this map. It will close out this series. He drops down. He heard the drop down. He doesn't see him on the aggressive run out. Oh, you can see Raindrops is getting caught out. He sees the mark above, but in a 1 vs 3 situation, this tight line being held by Apple with a cheeky 360, he knows how low Raindrops is. As soon as he peeks, oh, the jump out too with a pistol out from TVX. He's so arrogant in this gunfight. He knows how low Raindrops is. He wants to take it, but no, Raindrops shut down TVCX. Now in a 1 vs 2 situation, but Raindrops again is just so low on HP. 1 bullet from any gun will put him down, especially from the TCSG and the Outer with 81 bullets in that drum mag, or in that Beltfeld mag. Oh, if Red gets a bit aggressive here, Raindrops could get a free pick or jumps in. Could get one if he gets a nice fast pick. But yeah, he downs 1. Now in a very winnable situation. Raindrops going for the ace clutch in a 1 vs 1, putting Diffuser down. There's not much he can do. If a Maestro Cam is there, he can zap him to death, but I don't think it's available. Raindrops can actually get the Diffuser down. And now in a post-play situation, it's not looking good for Insidious. They were so aggressive and so arrogant that Raindrops could have almost won the round right there. Apples holding a Coastline on the fakes it once. Has had 1 bullet and he does.
Go, Apples.
Apples confirms it, and there you go. Insidious map 7-3. It almost came down to Raindrops to the 1v4 clutch, almost an ace clutch, and Raindrops are really valid. But there you go. That's GG's. Insidious now taking that series 2-1. A really hard-fought victory for them with a lot of ups and downs, but they come out.
Very true. And I mean, a great series there by Insidious. Well deserved and well earned. And it's going to put them against 7th Heaven next week, I'm pretty sure. May the 15th.
Yeah, and will come out against Seven does mean the side of down to the lose bracket, and they will play against. It is Altered Edge, I believe. Who? Yep, they Altered Edge lost to Seventh Heaven, and they will play against each other in the lowest bracket, and that is elimination. But I mean, overall, we've seen some really good siege today from both the first series and the second series. Second series going all the way to the final map, 7-3, and Insidious just closes it out in the end.
Very, very true. We are going to actually have a look at the main stage brackets now. Let's have a look at what tonight's scores are going to leave. So you got 2-0 to 7th Heaven versus Altered Edge in the first match tonight. And I mean, that was domination. 7-1, 7-1. 7th Heaven look currently unbeatable, and I don't think I've said that about a team in a very, very long time, apart from the very, very old Auglis.
Yeah, dude, it's actually insane how well Seven Heaven have been performing, and casting that game was really fun to see. Just how dominating Seven Heaven were. They just kept just running through their opponents. Altered Edge just really were kind of caught up and couldn't catch up to Seventh Heaven. Which is sort of a separate story to see what Monarch and Insidious, who really went back and forth quite a bit, especially on Monarch's defending half. They really went back and forth, but on the defending side of Insidious, they really pulled it forward and then took it out 7-3. So as you can see in our bracket, we will have Team Insidious advancing to the 5th of May winners bracket match against 7th Heaven, and we should see Monarch dropping down to the losers bracket to play against Altered Edge in our first map.
Very true. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to come out of that match top, because honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like Altered Edge could do it, but Monarch also have it in them to pull out of that and move on through the losers bracket, because for both of those teams on the 13th of May, that is make or break, and only one team can go forward there.
Yep, so stick around for the AUC tomorrow for day 2 of main stage, in which will be Skyfire will play against Crusaders Esports, and then August will play against Lethality. 2 huge matches, which will really decide like a lot of the teams in the winners bracket for the continuing stages. But thank you everyone for tuning into the stream. It was a late one tonight, going all the way to the third map on the second series. But I want to thank Nuttery for being the great production man himself and casting with me tonight, as Sam had to unfortunately drop out.
No problem. And first of all, where can they find you, Han?
They can find me on Twitter. My link is HanY_. And I mean, I should follow AEC and follow Twitter for any updates with the bracket or scores and everything like that. And they should definitely stay tuned for tomorrow. Skyfire Crusaders should be a huge match, as well as August and Lethality.
That's going to be very interesting. We do have a guest caster on tomorrow, so make sure you come in tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. or 6:20 p.m. when we start streaming. I'll be there, of course, like always. Skyfire vs Crusaders, August versus Lethality. Only 2 teams can make it through to the 15th of May, and only 2 teams can go down into the losers bracket. Anyways, that's from us here today at AC. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any feedback for us, and it better not be this stream was laggy, because if it was, I will ban you. No, I'm only kidding. Hope that I'll see you tomorrow. Anyways, chat, have a good one from both me and Han.